And we are live. What's up, guys? Yo, can you hear me, guys, now? Okay, yeah, I think we're live. What? What is this? Nah, bro. Like, Weeb Central now has ads? What? What is this? What's up, guys? Okay, I can see you guys. Hey, I gotta say, doing lives is really fun. Like, you get to talk about a lot of stuff regarding Blue Lock. Like, I always had a lot of thoughts, like a lot of theories, a lot of stuff like that. Like, being able to talk about them every time with you guys is really good. But hold on, let me read. What's up, guys? Hey, oh, it's you, Tholo. What's up? Yeah, rocking the Charles image. What's up? Wait, is that Isagi Itoshi? That's a very funny name, especially like knowing what just happened. Rin, okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about Rin. Like, we need to talk about the Itoshi or Bumtoshi or whatever you want to call him. What's up, Drake? What's up, Cypher? It was always edged on me how YouTubers. Listen, I'm actually not talking to the camera. Yeah, random waffle. Yeah, listen. So what I do, I'm literally talking to you. I have my phone and I have the chat, and I'm like literally talking to you guys. Okay, hold on. Let's stop talking about Rin. Let's stop talking about Rin because we gotta talk about a few things first. Rin is going to be the main, well, not Rin. Rin and Ego are going to be the main meal course of this live. So, you know. Yeah, I see you, Drake. I see you. Don't worry. We'll talk about Rin. First, I wanna listen, guys. I wanna talk about something funny that happened in the latest chapter. And like, I have not seen anyone talk about it. So, what's up, Bill? What's up, man? Welcome. So, you know how Isagi always has something to say, like has something smart to say at the end of the game, and usually like this gets people like really enraged. Like, look at my bro. Hugo doesn't care. I was like, yeah, sure, we'll meet, bro. Sure, we'll meet. This always, like, ever since I read this, it really cracked me. Bro told him, sure, bro, we'll meet, whatever, man, whatever you say. I find it funny because one of the things, okay, the thing that I find funny about this shit talking from Isagi, he literally won through luck. And Hugo never dismissed luck. Maybe he thought it's just low, like giving it 1%, but at least, like, Hugo never really dismissed luck. And also, what if Hugo went to the same side as Isagi? Would he talk this shit? Like, this is something funny to me. This is different from like him. Hold on, let's go him talking to Loki. So if you remember, I think it's 283 or 82. I don't remember it. I think it's 83. Yeah, so it's, oh, yeah. So this one. No, 84. Okay, 84. So 284. If you remember, when like Loki said his shit, like when Loki like was talking shit, what Isagi said to him really enraged him. Bro almost popped two veins. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, I have something on Hugo that is really important for today's discussion. You know, like, it's really important for like the Rin and Ego point. Exactly. Hugo is not sweating it at all. But the problem is not just, bro, what the hell is this? Look at this shit. The problem is not just that he was not sweating it because he was not trying, but like, look at Loki. Loki got enraged by like what Isagi said. But like, Hugo was like, sure, man, we'll meet. He told him peace. Hugo's national team won the game, and his club, Arsenal. Yeah, I saw that Arsenal actually won the Premier League. Like, I don't follow football, but like on Twitter, you always get some news here and there. Yeah, we didn't. What's up, Illusion? What you doing, man? How are you? So the point is, look, we can go back, like even way back. We can go back to when Isagi was talking shit to Baro, if you remember. Like Baro really got enraged. What was it? I think it was like 63, some shit like that. Yeah. Look at this. So this is when he told him donkey or loser. Look at Baro, like look at bro. Bro was really mad, like he's popping many veins. I mean, listen, it's not in his nature to give him the middle finger. Hugo was not bothered at all. Look at Baro. And like Isagi with these talks, like Isagi always get them. Like Hugo is like, sure, man, whatever you say. Okay, I have another one. Hold on. I have another one with Kaiser. Like Isagi, listen, Isagi has to be the best like rage baiter in Blue Lock. He always finds a way to rage bait people. But like two people did not fall for it. The first is Noah and now Hugo. They both said, "Well, sure, whatever. We'll meet you. We'll meet you there." Yeah, I spoke about that. Listen, so Loki actually just proved that he is only fast. That's all. I know he was crazy and all, but like, come on, bro. Hold on, I'm getting ads on my own stream. What the hell? Oh, let me read, guys. Can we put Charles on Fraud Watch? Listen, Charles, poor Charles. I would not put him on Fraud Watch because he actually scored and had one assist. But like, you can tell the writer does not care about him. Like you can tell. Okay, let me continue read. I just want to say that the aesthetic quality of the goals have massively dipped in the U20 World Cups. Well, actually, you know why? I don't think the writer like. Hold on. There is Rin's goal in the previous game against Nigeria. That was a really cool goal. Like that was close to the shit Kaiser used to pull. And also, the reason we don't see crazy goals is because we don't have Nagi. Like 50% of the insanely beautiful goals were scored by Nagi. Like I've never liked Nagi, but now that he is not here, I kind of miss his shenanigans. I kind of miss him flipping in the air and then doing something crazy. Okay, let me see. I saw an image of Hugo. Yeah. I don't think Hugo meant it in a funny way. Maybe he meant. No, the point is not that he meant it in a funny way. I like that he did not get rage baited by Isagi. As I said, Isagi is the best rage baiter in Blue Lock. Hold on, I'll show you one with Kaiser. I think it was 201. Like when he called Kaiser a clown. Yeah, here we go. Look at bro. Look. I mean, this one was kind of like Isagi and Noah, but like look at bro. Bro is really twitching here. Like even the writers said twitch. Like this is why I liked Hugo's reaction. Hugo like was like, sure, bro, whatever, man. You just lost to me and you talking shit. Now, the detail I have regarding Hugo is actually let's go to the previous chapter first, and I'll show you the little detail. So, remember when I said that Hugo getting shocked here was kind of out of character, like this one, like because him and Isagi should have both have seen Ren, but what Ren did was kind of crazy for both, and so why Hugo got shocked was not actually because he did not expect Ren. Well, no, he saw Ren, but he did not expect him to be this dumb. And so in the next chapter we have the explanation. So what Hugo saw is that is this one. As a team full of strikers, they refuted their own philosophy and failed. A group of egoists whose destiny is no. Hold on, what is it? Yeah, I think this is yeah. So it is because they always butt heads. This is what shocked him. Like there was no reason for Rin to get involved at that moment. And he did not he was shocked by it. Like why would Rin do this? It's not that he did not expect Rin. Like he clearly can see Rin. He was within his field of vision. But like why would bro do this? Isagi had a clear shot. Why would Rin come in? And Isagi kind of thought, and this kind of explains why Isagi did not see Ren. It's not that, well, not they both saw him, but they did not expect him to intervene at this moment specifically. You know why? Because, especially for Isagi, because Isagi is used to Baro, and Baro always intervenes. However, look at how Baro does it. So if we go to chapter 342, look at how Baro does it. So Shido is not in a shooting motion. The ball is still coming, and it is still 50-50 between him and Loki. It was there where Baro took it. Baro never interferes with the play. He does it like he steals the ball before the play is starting. I think this is the difference. This is why Isagi was shocked by Rin. It's not that he did not see him. I think he thought, I am in the clear right now. There is no way Rin would intervene right now. If Rin had anything in mind, he would have done it while I was having the battle with Hyuga. So this is what shocked both Hyuga and Isagi. And I feel like as talented learners, it was kind of weird to them. Look at, because, and this kind of explains how they did not see him. Because they actually saw him, they just did not expect him to come at this moment. Because this moment, all that he could do is ruin it for Isagi, which he eventually did. Now in this regard, hold on. Yeah, in this regard, Rin is completely mentally ill. And yeah, stupid ads. Listen, bro, I'm getting ads on my own stream. I'm watching my own stream to get the chat, and I'm getting ads. So yeah, exactly. Baro turns 50-50 into a goal. However, Isagi here actually won the 50-50. For example, imagine, let's say Isagi and Hyuga went to the same way, went the same way. Rin getting in there, that would make sense. But doing it after Isagi have won his 50-50, that's actually shitty. So this one, it's on Rin. I think the timing of his intervention was completely wrong. I feel like Baro does it far better. Even if we look at the first time Baro did it, which was in the second selection. Yeah, the second selection. Hold on. So it was I think 78, maybe one chapter after. Yeah. So it's literally 78. So look at this. Here, Isagi was losing to Rin. That's the reason Baro came in. Let's say Isagi won this one. I doubt Baro would actually try to take it. Because it's a clear shot, why would he do it? That would literally be a hyena. But here, he actually turned a 0 into a goal. Sure, he stole it, but at the end of the day, Isagi was losing it. Then, when he did it again in the U20 game, which I think it's 136, 137, I think it's 137. Yeah. So here, obviously, Baro was a little bit far here. Isagi passes it to Rin. Aiko comes in. Now it's a 50-50 between Rin and Aiko. Honestly here, I think Aiko is stronger than Rin, and so he would have pushed him and took it. And so Baro did not want to take that chance. He did not intervene when Rin was shooting. No. That's not what Baro does. Baro intervenes before. And that way, no one ever hates him for it, because he turns something that is iffy, a 50-50 chance, he turns it into a goal. However, what Rin did was the complete opposite. Rin here really should not have intervened. Sure, maybe here, maybe when Isagi was having his battle, maybe here Rin should have done something. If Rin came in here, I understand it. Because here it's a 50-50, I don't trust Isagi, for example. He would say, I don't trust Isagi, and I will go for it. Yeah, hold on. I'll read your comments, guys. Don't worry. I'll read them all, don't worry. Let me just finish with where Rin made a mistake, because I think this is his only mistake. So if he intervened here, that would have been fine. Isagi actually would have liked it. However, because he intervened after Isagi have won, Isagi here won, there is literally no reason to steal the ball. Isagi won. So here, this shocked both Isagi and Hyuga. Why? It's not about Rin trying to score for his own goal. This is he's trying to kill Isagi. And this is something that Hyuga completely did not understand. This is the reason he was shocked. It was not because he did not see Rin, and Isagi as well. It was not because they did not see Rin. They did not expect him to fuck up like this. And well, we all know what happened. Now, this is the only part where I think Rin completely fumbled the bag. There was no reason for him to intervene there. Like, he should have done it earlier. Like, here, it's already Isagi's ball, he's about to shoot, there is literally no reason to do this. However, then Isagi gives us like the best explanation, which is the main course of today. This was completely Ego's fault. I don't listen. I think Rin intervened in the wrong moment. That's his only mistake. But like the whole thing about him trying to get the ball from Isagi, that was all on Ego. Now, before we talk about it, let me read the comments. Hold on. You can tell. Let me go up. Loki did not really live up to the hype. Yeah, we read these. I also think. Yeah, true Nagi. Okay, so we were talking about Nagi. Yeah. Someone who definitely needs to be on fraud watch is Chigiri. Yeah, bro. Chigiri, ever since his game against Bastard Munich, like after that game, he always been on my fraud watch. Like, bro does nothing with that insane speed. Like even in the previous game, Leiden has the same speed, and he did much better than Chigiri. Maybe that's because of Hugo, by the way, because Hugo brings the best out of his teammates, and so it is understandable. Okay, best goal in this manga was Kaiser's. But yeah, so here that's actually true. It's not just Nagi. We lost both Kaiser and Nagi, and they score the best goals in the show. So this is why this arc feels as if the goals are not as impressive. Now, okay, you can tell. Yeah, you like Nagi, of course. We'll talk about Ego. Don't worry, Drake. We'll talk about Ego. Nagi got the most beautiful goal. Yeah. In the NEL, goals were used not only as an indication of a player's playing style, but true. But also, this is why I like Baro's goals. Baro's goals never are flashy, but they are impressive nonetheless. And that's exactly his character. Like, he forces a goal through. Rin's destructor, like crash shots, was perfect for him because like he wants to destroy it all. And so him crashing with Isagi and scoring after Isagi read him perfectly, so like he rendered his perfect reading of the game, of the plan, completely useless. That impressed even Loki, and Loki doesn't get impressed that easily. Like bro was yawning in this game. Like at one point they almost tied the game, and he still was not impressed because he felt as if like there is no reason for me to try. Okay, Ace, Rin did nothing wrong. He followed. No, the problem with Rin, as I said, is not that he intervened. I think the timing was completely wrong. Like, he does not know how to do it, if that makes sense. And that's actually a great point that I will talk about later, because why does Rin not know where to intervene? Because he's always been the guy to dominate. And so it's a weird feeling for him to have to be a hyena in order to score. And so, like, I think because of that, he did not know how to best take advantage of the situation Isagi created. And so that's his fault. Like, you cannot, like, I know we should blame Ego's philosophy, but at the same time, you cannot tell me Rin does not deserve the blame for intervening at that moment specifically. Yeah, give him a flashback. Stupid ads. Isagi's face low-key funny. Yeah, bro, like Isagi getting scared like that, like he did not expect it. We're talking about Baro. This Rin slander is really funny, not gonna lie. It's not Rin slander, I think. I think he just did not know how to handle it. Because for the first time in his life, he's not the number one of the team. Like even in the PXG game, when he was failing, PXG was failing. Like Shido got completely pocketed by Kunigami. And so Rin had to go berserk in order to score. But like in this game, Rin is a complete ghost, and you see Karasu and Isagi and Baro and Shido doing great. So like this was really, really weird for him. That's why like I said he just did not know how to go about it. Like he should have asked a professional like Baro. Okay, let me see. It's also crazy that Rin did the same thing in the Nigerian match. Yeah, listen. This is my point. He was number one for too long that he just does not know how to like be number two. Period is done, but remember back in the PXG game, Isagi literally calls his... Yeah. Listen, the problem with Rin's irrationality being unbeatable is that it got beaten by Isagi and Kaiser. Like the only way Isagi found out that he could win against Rin was by teaming up with Kaiser. And so, as we've seen in this game, like do I need to remind you what happened? Rin is like still the best one-on-one player. And so, how does Hugo or Loki deal with him? So he comes, he obliterates Loki one-on-one, he's about to shoot, but no, it was a trap from Loki and Hugo. Like this is literally, hold on, I'll show you a scene that literally depicts this with Kaiser and Isagi. So Rin being irrationally unbeatable is no longer the case. Hold on. So I think it was right after they played together. No, I think it's after this chapter. So yeah, Rin goes for it. Watch this. It's like it literally is the same. So Rin is clashing with Isagi and he is about to shoot. But then Kaiser comes. If we look, hold on. If we look at this one, look, he's about to shoot, Loki crushes with him, bam, Hugo comes in. So like his irrationality is insane against one player, but like against two good players, it really is nothing. So this is what I said, like, I think because he is not used to being number two, he does not know how to handle this. Okay. 1%. Listen, Megumi kinda deserves it. Bro was hyped up to have the biggest potential in in Jujutsu Kaisen, and like he did nothing. So yeah, listen. Regarding Sofa Itoshi, I just can't wait for what Sai is about to say, because like you know that Sai is gonna say like some insane shit. Yo, Ace, remember when they faced the U20 when Sai shut down Isagi and then Rin intervened? That was a but Rin did not intervene actually. As I was showing you, that was not an intervention. Rin actually asked for the ball. That was like a team play. Hold on, I just showed it. Give me a second. I don't think this is an intervention to help your teammate. I think this is just asking for the ball. This is literally like a team play. What Baro did is an intervention. Like, he saw Aiku and he saw Ren. Nah, this is my ball. Right? Do you think Ego will be stubborn about his philosophy? Yeah, we'll talk about Ego in a second. Baro converts 50-50. Yeah, we spoke about that. Ren intervening in the U20 isn't the same. Yeah, exactly. It's not the same at all. Yeah, so as I said, Rin intervening is not wrong by Ego's philosophy. It's the timing of his intervening. Do you understand, Illusion? It's like he did it at a wrong timing. It's not about him doing it like at a perfect timing. Yeah, live streams. Yeah, bro, like I'm having so much fun talking with you guys because like I have a lot of ideas regarding Blue Lock, and this one specifically about Rin and Ego, I will make into a separate video. But like a lot of ideas that I have, like I don't have the time to make full videos about. And so we end up with this. What's up, Kahin? What you doing, man? About his flashback, it answers your question. Whose flashback, Drake? Like, who it's... Yeah, but like, listen, we've never seen him do this until the Nigerian game. And like, in the Nigerian game, you kind of understand it. Isagi was not in a short-in motion. But like here, like, bro, it was completely bad. Aiku spent most of the game on his back. We'll talk about Aiku too. You know what? Before we talk about Ego, we'll talk about the biggest winners and losers from both teams. Like, who's the MVP, who is the worst player. Like, dude, what happened to the cold, calculated Rin? That's actually true. I remember back in the day, Rin was about calculation. But like, that was because he was copying his brother. Rin's true playing style is complete destruction. He still is calculated, but in a genius way. He doesn't do it in a talented learner way like he used to. He does it in his own way, by understanding you and then completely fucking you up. Yeah, so, okay, hear me out. I think Rin's monk training was completely a mistake. And we'll talk about, you know what, let's actually talk about it a little bit later. First, let's talk about the winners and losers. After I read the chapters. After I read the comments, hold on. Down in like, yeah, exactly, it's like Kaiser and Isagi. Can strong rings physically clash with Chris? So, here's the thing. That's actually a very interesting question. Hold on, who asked it? Demon, yeah. So like Chris Prince. No, it's not Demon. Hold on. Yeah, it's Drake. Yeah, Drake. That's actually an amazing question. It's like can Ren actually do something against Prince? I'll show you just one chapter that shows you that if anyone could do anything against Prince, it's gonna be Ren. Hold on. So he joins in now. Okay, I think it's... I don't know if it is after or before this chapter, but I don't remember. Hold on. So they go on the offense. Kaiser loses the ball to Rio here because of Chris Prince. Yeah, Chigi goes... Okay, so it's after. So it's after this. After this. Okay, so he stops him. They go on the offense, I assume. Let's see. Oh no, it's actually Isagi and Yukimiya's not monologue, duologue, if that makes sense. Hold on. So Yuki loses the ball. Yeah. By the way, watch this. Watch this. Noah is always watching Chris from the back. He understands, like, you cannot deal with this guy from the front. And this is very important to Ren. Okay, come on. So Isagi, yeah, crap. So watch this. Noah was from behind. So I think this is the only way Ren could do anything against Prince. If he goes head to head with Prince, I don't think he can destroy him. But like coming from the shadows, I think Ren might be the only one who could do anything against him, except Noah and Snuffy. Like, listen, one-on-one, like in terms of one-on-one, I think Chris Prince is the best. The only way you could deal with him is doing like what Noah is doing, or doing what Snuffy was doing against Noah, by utilizing the team, or if Ren could do the same as Noah from behind with his his destroyer mode. Other than that, if he faces Prince head on, I don't think he could do shit. So Fatoshi inferior to Hugo. Listen, I think the last chapter with Hugo being not impressed at all, I think it proves that he is better than Sai. Can I be the points for saying Ego's mindset is wrong? I didn't say Ego's mindset is wrong. I don't think there is a wrong mindset. I think there are degrees of wrong. And Ego's mindset definitely has some flaws. The same as Hugo, the same as Isagi's. And I think that's the point. I think Isagi is trying to figure out the best mentality to go about. Like he saw Noah and he can't be Noah. He saw Ego and now he's questioning Ego. And also he saw Hugo. And I think he also is thinking about Snuffy. So he has a lot of ways of thinking and he definitely needs to talk about it. We'll talk about Aiko, hold on. Kind of the support for Loki, if you kind of think about it, and Isagi will surpass him because he's the MC. That Loki means he's just a speed demon, but on a one-on-one so far, he is not that good. Now, so Loki one-on-one, if he has the space, is unstoppable. But like, if you know what you're doing, like Noah here, and this is why physicality like matters at the end of the day. Give me a second, I'll find it. So I think he was 282, maybe. Yeah, so watch this. So Loki is running with the ball. Kaiser and Isagi are completely depressed. Then like, obviously, Loki, if he is not challenged here, he definitely could score. Bam. Noah holds him. So like, he does not give him the space to run. Then Loki switches. But like, we know this shit does not work on Noah. So Loki literally cannot deal with Noah. And the moment he tries to accelerate, bam, he rams into him with his physicality. And like, if Noah hits you, like you have to remember, this guy can shake Prince from different angles. So like, if Noah hits Loki, he's stopping. And that's why, look at bro. Like, bro is just trying to fight Noah to give the pass. It wasn't like he gave himself space or anything. Like, he was trying to give the pass. So this is why I like. So if you give Loki space, he would destroy you. If you don't, you could beat him one-on-one. Yeah, bro. Listen, guys. I think I'm reading too much and like I'm getting a little bit. Yeah, let's continue. What's up, Yasin? Yeah, so no, of course I would entertain any question, guys. Don't worry. So Ring versus Chris, one on one, as I said, Chris Prince would destroy him. Ring cannot destroy Prince in the way he does to other players. The only way I could see it, and because Ring is that motherfucker, like he is that genius. I think he could do what Noah was doing and tackle Chris Prince from his blind spot. Especially because if Otoya could do it, I think Rin too could do it. This is off topic, but do you think anyone currently, U20, could stop the 5-stage volley if they were in the same situation so they don't know about it beforehand? I think, listen, this would not be controversial at all. I think the only one who has a remote chance against it would be Hugo. Hugo would probably know what Nagi is about to do, but like, judging that he fell for Isagi's like 50-50 play, I don't know. But like, I think if anyone has a chance, it has to be Hugo. Of course, now that they know about it, Hugo is the best one to stop it. Ring can use his physicality in a way that allows him. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. It's like one-on-one, face-to-face with Prince, he loses, but like from his blind spot, he could do some shit. Most useless player in the match is Aiko. Listen, you gotta stop with the Aiko slander. I wanna talk about him, but like, you gotta stop with the Aiko slander. We'll talk about him. Give me a second. Drake, Rin. Okay, so I think I'm almost caught up. What do you believe is the biggest disadvantage of Hugo's philosophy? I think he's a bit too judgmental. Like, he dismissed Isagi's luck as 1%, even though Isagi was doing it multiple times in different games. That's not 1%. Like, that's like at least 20%. He dismissed it as if being 1% because he knows how to counter it. Now, obviously, he was nerfed for him to fall in that play, but once he fell into the gamble play, it was a 50-50. It's like, I think and then like he kind of realized, he said to Isagi, "You're on. Let's go with the battle." Okay, but he's not doing anything against Chris. The dude flipped. Yeah, no. Listen, bro. I'm not saying he could do one-on-one, like face to face, but like, I feel like if anyone could do what Noah was doing, it has to be Rin. Like, I feel he's the only one. What's up, Yassine? Yeah, I'm reading yesterday's chat. Rin versus Goku. Okay, come on. The Hugo's philosophy risks stagnation to a degree. I don't think it risks stagnation to a degree, because this is the what's that guy who does shorts who said like Kaiser scored 3 goals and one of them was a hat trick. Like, he has like another dumb take. Like, I'm not saying he's dumb, but like a dumb take where he said that Hugo's philosophy is about finding the optimal spot. That's not what he's doing. Hugo is about living optimally, meaning you're always improving in the most optimal way. So in a sense, it never actually stagnates anyone. Shake my head, Igor is right there. Okay, hold on. But Noah is closer to Loki's speed than... No, actually, Noah is third after Loki's speed, in my book. The second is Prince. So, like, Noah is Noah. Loki is number 1. Prince is number 2, and then of course Noah. Oops, sorry, Aiko was on his back. Like, bro, stop slandering my boy Aiko. We'll talk about him. Now, listen, poor Lorenzo is like absent at the moment. Maybe. By the way, I made this chart. Let me show you guys. Hold on, let me open Discord. Open media link. No, what the? So I made this chart, like in the previous stream, which is about who will face who in the brackets. So we have France versus Senegal, Argentina, and then against Italy. At the same time as this game, we have Japan versus Colombia. So there is a high chance that we will get like this game. This game would probably be like 1 volume max, especially after Spain, where I am assuming Japan will improve a lot. Then we will get things from like France's point of view. That's what I think, by the way. Like, don't take my word for it. That would be probably the only way we will see Lorenzo in a long time. Which, by the way, brings me to another thing we need to talk about, which is The U20 World Cups is not the final point of Blue Lock. Blue Lock needs to move to the pros because we need to have Baro versus Snuffy be resolved. We need to have Chris Prince versus Isagi resolved. And of course, the big one, we need to have Noah versus Isagi be resolved. And also, there is a little bit of seed of Noah against Baro too because they are the same mentality, but we will see. Anyways, Kenshiro gave Kira the number 9 for a reason. I mean, sure. Listen, yeah, Anime Greenlee, that's the guy. Now, I would listen. I would not say he has very low IQ. I have nothing but respect for the guy. But like he had these two dumb takes. I think obviously you could have any take, but like for the hat trick one, I don't know if he did it as a meme or if it was intentional. But you know, for the one about Hugo, I feel like he did not understand him at all. Okay, Rin, for example, sold Isagi's goal. So I spoke of it at the beginning of the stream, bro, Zach. So Rin actually followed Ego, so it's not on Rin. The mistake that Rin did was the timing of his intervention. Bro, I'm gonna wear number 9 in. By the way, who's number 9 right now? I think it's Otoya. Yeah, before it was Otoya. So right now, who is? Okay, this is PXG. I thought it was Rin. So let me see. When Otoya joined in, what was like his number? Yeah, it's 33. And before, I think he was number 9, no? Let's see when Baro joined in. 132. By the way, it's crazy that like the U20 game is almost 200 chapters ago. Okay, Baro in... Wait, hold on. So yeah, he was number 9. Hold on. Bro, what the... Okay, I think no. I think we don't have it here. So yeah, you can see it here. You can see it. It's number 9 swapped out for number 13. Bro, I'm getting ads on my own stream. What the hell? Okay, let's see. Kira is still referred to as Japan's jewel by a dude who watched Blue Lock's team inside B. Yeah, listen, I don't know. I don't want to talk about Kira yet until we see him again. I feel like the guy could end up being like the biggest disappointment for us and not be able to keep up with Blue Lock at all. Or he could be goated and he could bring fresh new ideas into Blue Lock, which is actually big for today's stream. Ego chewed out Karasu. Bro, by the way, we'll talk about this one. Ego like smashed Karasu, and then he was the one at fault. Karasu ended up being on the right side of history. So for Sai, I think, listen guys, for Sai, I know Rin is number 10, but I want him to wear the number 10. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do, but like, hold on. Rin is number 10, right? Let me see. Yeah, no, oh wait. Yeah, Rin is number 10. Hold on. Let me see. Do we have a clear image of Rin? Yeah, he's number 10. Like, yeah, we can see he's number 10. So other than that, what do you guys think Sai would wear? Yeah, that's an interesting question. So 11 is taken, 13 is taken, 10 is taken. What do you think? Big Otoya had Nagi, so yeah, bro. Listen. Otoya kind of got also character assassinated in this game. Like, bro was hyped up to do something with Karasu, but then him and Shido just died. Kyo will be better even than... okay, so Fraud Pachi. Who's Fraud Pachi, by the way? Failed to teach the team... Oh, it's Ego, okay. There are no official stats for Noah and Loki. So yeah, we have no stats for both Noah and Loki. That's something you gotta deal with. But from what we've seen, we know Loki is the fastest. We know the best one at everything except speed is obviously Chris Prince. We know that Blake and Noah are right behind Chris Prince. I would say Noah is better, but because of his ambidexterity, but you never know. Blake could be better. I don't know, but like I'd put them right behind Prince. And we also have Dada Silva, who is tanky. We have not seen any speed stats from him just yet, but I think in terms of strength, he could rival Prince or Blake or Noah. The only pro stat, it's Prince. And Prince has it maxed out, so it doesn't help us at all. Does bro see my message or not? I can see you. I can see you. By the way, what did you say? Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back, bro. I'm getting a lot of messages. So if I miss one, forgive me, guys. No, I just. Okay, I can't listen, bro. I can't keep up with Discord and the stream at the same time. Hold on. So which one? The one you're talking about, Bunny? Bro, what the hell? Bro, what are we doing here? I don't know. By the way, hold on. Oslo, what you talking about, man? Does that mean that the England game is gonna be like 60s champion? So I have a controversial take. England game is going to be as long as the French game. It's going to take 2 volumes. That's it. Oh shit, okay. What is it? I don't see it. Where did they say it? Where did they send it? Like, yeah, so Japan versus Spain, I think it should take at least the same amount of time as PXG. Oslo, I actually don't see it. Where did they send it? In what chat? In what chat did they send it? I want to like I'll ban the guy. He doesn't dislike Noah. Like who said Noah dislikes Ego? I think. Listen, I'll say something controversial here, but Ego actually Noah. I don't think Noah cares enough about Ego. I think Ego cares, but Noah doesn't, and it is because Ego is a talented learner and Noah is a genius. But also, Noah is always looking for the next step, and so to him, like his previous rivalry with Ego, that shit doesn't matter. I'll show you why. So if we go to chapter this one, maybe. No, I think it's the one after it. This one is about Hiyori. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, so this one. Whatever he's talking about. He's talking to Baro. Yeah. So, look at this. If those two, hold on. Isn't Baro great? You know, seeing those two really reminds me of that rotten rivalry between you and Jinpachi Ego. Look at this. Don't lump us in. I want to see someone beyond all of that. Bro just doesn't care about the past. He's looking always. And by the way, you gotta admit, Noah was really loving this game because he saw 2 players like with the potential to rival him. Of course, he saw it more in Baro because he sensed that Isagi would never look at him as a rival because he likes him. But at the same time, like you gotta love this. He wants more for them. If you present a challenge for Ego, yeah, listen. No, listen. I deleted it, Oslo. Yeah. I saw. Like, listen. So for the meme and cool things chat, it's the only place where you could share images as soon as you join. So I always keep an eye on it. Don't worry, I deleted it. Yeah, thank you, bro. Although let me. Parasocial. Well, I thought say no dislikes. I don't listen. I don't think Noah respects Ego. I think Noah does not give a shit about Ego. Like that's my theory, because Noah seems to not care. Like I just showed it. Snuffy cares about their rotten rivalry more than Noah himself. Look at this. I would see something beyond that. Like, bro thinks so little of it. And this, by the way, one of the biggest selling points of Noah for me. Bro just does not look at the past. He just wants to keep on grinding and keep on being the best. Yeah, goes from his past that refuses to die. Now, here, refuses to die could be that Ego keeps on messaging the guy. Here's my prediction for the Japan versus Spain goals, with it being 5 for Japan winning. Shido Sai score and Rin does a hat trick. While Bunny scores a hat trick, then awakens in his last call. So you think Isagi is not scoring against Bunny? I don't think so. I think, listen, if Isagi does not score in the England game, I can see it. Against Brazil, I can see it. But against Spain and Germany, we need Isagi to score. And I have a theory here. I think against Spain, it's going to be Sai and it's going to be a team up between Sai and Isagi, and not Sai and Ren. I think Ren is going to lose more brain cells in that game. Seeing his brother working, and so like in the next game against Colombia, he will decimate them with like 4 goals, like a super hat trick. 4 goals, and the last one being a super hat trick. Okay, Eagle, literally the Japanese soldier who kept fighting for 20 years. I mean, I don't know if he was fighting, but like it was in the shadows, so no, I wouldn't care. The reason he wanted Barrow more is because, listen, I'll tell you when Noah really, really likes Barrow. And this is why I said a rivalry between Noah and Barrow is really something I want to see because, hold on. So Brad talking about Brad's, look at this. Bro celebrating. Look at Snuffy, by the way. He was so depressed here, like he was ready to wave the towel. Then Barrow was like, nah, bro. You gotta play against me, man. Look at Lorenzo, by the way. Look at my boy here. Like, he wanted to hear that shit. Say it. Say it, Snuffy. Say it, Snuffy. And then Snuffy says it. Now, this is exactly what Noah wants. Noah wants Kaiser or Isagi or Loki to treat him like Barrow treats Snuffy. So here, I think Noah was completely jealous. Because not only does Barrow have the perfect mentality in Noah's eyes, but he also gave Snuffy what Noah only dreams of getting from Kaiser and Isagi. Then, and I did not expect this, by the way, while reading this, I did not expect Noah to compliment Barrow like that. Because if Noah, hold on, come on. So if Noah, the most successful striker in not history, but like most successful striker right now, tells you that you have the best mentality for being a striker, like you're Gucci, you're doing something right. This is why in terms of mentality, I think Barrow is just one of the best. And this, by the way, why he always scores, because of mentality. Like if you look at him, he's not the strongest. Well, he's strong really, but he's not the strongest. He's nowhere near being the fastest. His playing style is not that flashy. He doesn't have any destroyer mode. He doesn't have Isagi's intelligence or adaptability. All he has is like his mentality and his unpredictability, which, by the way, Noah loves, because the more unpredictable Barrow is, the more Noah needs to evolve. And this is why I think, and this is just a theory of mine, that Noah also has insane adaptability. And the final showdown of the show is going to be adaptability versus Isagi's adaptability. That's peak Blue Lock if it is the case, by the way. And hey, if it is the case, just know, bro, by the way, I just noticed it's Duma with like a horse or a unicorn. What the fuck? It's like supposed to be Puma. Like, this is funny. Hold on, let me read a little bit more. Snuffy is just him. And this is why I liked Hugo, by the way. I feel like Hugo is the missing link for Isagi between himself and Snuffy. Once he beats Hugo, he can move to beating Snuffy. Which match? So my match, just in the NEL, my favorite match of all time is the PXG game. For 2 reasons. And I'll show you guys. For 2 reasons. Okay, so 262. So this one right here. This whole thing with Kaiser just like has to be Kanshiro at his best. This character building of him like destroying the Emperor image of Kaiser completely. Only to show us that it was only a facade because he was shit. Like, and him, look. And I gotta say, Nomura also here drew him like crazy. Look at Bro. Bro was really feeling desperate. Then, only for him to realize, like, I remember this scene like broke me. Like Kaiser realizing this is the first time we don't see the sharpness in Kaiser's eyes. This is the first time when like Nomura drew him as in his dreamy, as in like, I don't know how to describe it. Kaiser always had that like cat, like the Barrow look, like the sharp look. But here, he kind of looks like Isagi for the first time. Like he's just realizing life is more than just protecting what you had. You need to just keep aspiring. And it is, by the way, so true. And Kaiser thought that he is the best here, and like Hugo, Loki, and all of those motherfuckers are above him here. But then he awakens in the best way possible. So just because of this, I would give it the best game. But then the writer pulls off another amazing writing twist and give us this. Hold on. So and give us this specifically, this panel right here. This panel right here, like knowing Noah's true motives and like everything making sense, like up until this point, everything making sense. This was perfection. And I loved Isagi here because like if I were me, I would be depressed. And Isagi was actually depressed had it not been for Kaiser again. So like you have to understand how important fucking Kaiser to the story is. So and like this is something I really loved. So he got depressed, and then thanks to Kaiser, he was able to get back on his feet. So because of these 2 points, PXG is the best. Bro, like you know. By the way, Lorenzo is only 19. He's not an uncle. Like, you know how Isagi said Kaiser was his. Yeah. By the way, so that was complete bullshit from Isagi. Listen, this is something where I feel like Isagi made a mistake, and it's fine. By the way, it's totally fine for Isagi to make mistakes. I think even Ego now that he's been challenged, it's fine for him to also make mistakes. So I think it's in chapter 172. Yeah, after Yuki, we see him train, then we look back at Isagi. And like, look, so Isagi here says, during that match, I couldn't do anything as a striker. And hold on, there was something that I said that I always liked. I think he said it during the game. He said that it's taking everything for me to just read Noah. And so he thought that maybe like the flow state to reach Noah is Kaiser. But that was that was such like, how do I say it? He misjudged the situation so far. I think after Kaiser, there needs to be either Bunny or Hugo before you reach Noah. And I think it's Hugo more than Bunny because he's a talented learner, the same as Kaiser. So this is why I have high hopes for Hugo, by the way. Missed opportunity in that game for Isagi to say, no wonder your mom left. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, why? Drake, why? By the way, Isagi does not know. Stubby hasn't won every league yet. It was, yeah, it's only, listen, it's implied that he won it with Ubers, and like it was the final one. So he was going to retire because he won it. But then Ego pulled him off, and being a talented learner, you obviously know Snuffy would accept because he would foster the next generation with being safe like him. About aunties. Okay, who would you consider being in the top 3 or 5 when it comes to soccer IQ from the U20 category? So number 1, it's not even negotiable, it's Hugo. So like for being the smartest, like purely smart, I think Hugo is number 1. Number 2, I'd say Karasu. Number 3, it's a tie between Kaiser and Isagi. Now Isagi is not as smart as Karasu. But the thing with Isagi is that his adaptability is off the charts. And so even if you're smarter than him, he gets to results better than you because he adapts faster. Now, you could say that makes him smarter, but I don't know. I think like in terms just like pure IQ and pure thinking, I think Karasu is number 2 after Hugo. And by the way, Hugo is like untouched. Isagi said he's way smarter than me. Then as like these are my top 4. I wouldn't say behind them. I don't know who would be smart. Maybe Hiyori, maybe Aiku. Aiku also has the analytical eye, so Aiku could be that smart. Okay, hold on. Let me read. That's why I'm asking. Hoping Isagi going to evolve. Yeah. So as I said, I think Isagi misjudged the situation here because he saw Kaiser reacting to Noah. He assumed Kaiser could reach Noah, but Kaiser was leagues behind. Kaiser was even behind Hugo and Loki at this point. And he is still, until he manages to master the Magnus technique, he is not on their level. So I think Isagi here, then either Bunny or Hugo here, then Noah comes. That's maybe even Hugo here and then Loki before Noah. But I don't know, I feel like Loki, once you reach Loki, you are on Noah's level. Like maybe you don't beat Noah, but you are on his level, and that's enough for Isagi as a start. Uh, bro, hold on. Let me remove this guy. Channel activity as a put in timeout. Hide user from this channel. Yeah. So sorry about that, guys. Uh, I think Hugo is like a perfect character. Had it not been for the slight nerf at the end, Hugo is perfectly written character. He has his own philosophy that rivals Ego, and he's proven that it is better at times. So what else would we want? He literally has it all. And by the way, he's mad beefy, bro. Is the first ever where Rin plays and doesn't score. Yeah, by the way, that's true. This is the first time where Rin does not score. It's insane, by the way. It leaves only Baro and Kaiser as the only players who scored in every game. Yeah, bro, I blocked the guy. Bro, what the bro, spam the shit. A lot of people are smarter than Isagi, but fans. Now, listen. I would not say a lot of people. I'd say the only two who are smarter than Isagi would be Hugo and Karasu. And I say Kaiser. Nah, Rio is not smarter than Isagi. Rio is very smart, but he is not smarter than Isagi. I'd put Rio like on top 5, yeah. Maybe I think Rio is a little bit better than Aiku and Nico, so I'd say Rio is right behind Isagi and Kaiser. Because there were times where Isagi and Kaiser understood the situation and Rio was still like thinking. And I don't want to sound as like an emotional person here, but I think if you are emotional like Rio, you automatically lose few points in IQ because you let your emotions cloud your judgment. And you cannot have that. Like this is something I like about Karasu. Bro fears geniuses. Like in his backstory, we see him that he is afraid of geniuses. But he never let that show. And he tells Hiyori, you never let them get to you. Listen, so someone said on like Discord, what makes like Hugo objectively better than Sai? And here's why I think Hugo is a perfect character. Hugo is able to take the whole team into their 100%, right? So, and we've seen with Sai was only able to do it with the strikers. And so like I think Hugo is like a level beyond Sai. That level could be like minimal, and it could be like remedied once Sai faces Bunny in the U20 World Cups. But I genuinely think Hugo, because he can push a whole team, he can push a whole team to their 100%. He is the best talented learner we have in the U20 category. And I think he even rivals the pros like Prince and Levy in terms of level. And that was hinted at because he is on Loki, and Loki is definitely there, but that's the explanation I have. Hold on. Retracted. Okay, Hugo's good villain. I think Hugo is not a villain. I think Hugo is, I would say, an antagonist for sure, but he was never a villain. Like he wanted to help Japan so he'll help himself. That kind of seems villainish, but if you think about it, like it's soccer at the end of the day, and you need to help your team. Bro, who cares about being a CEO? Like CEOs are not the smartest people. Like, otherwise, companies would actually make the right decisions. Just ask what happened to Australia because of like the sugar companies. They released those frogs that are destroying the environment right now. So like CEOs are like have nothing to do with being smart. Listen, I'd watch it. I'd watch like after Isagi wins the World Cups and he retires. I'd watch like a mini manga or anime about Isagi Modulo, or no, Blue Lock Modulo, where Isagi takes Ego's mantle. Other characters in the U20 will get developments on the Blue Lock team, like Butcher or Chigi. Listen, so the writer said that everyone will get an evolution. Like everyone. Literally everyone, including Sendo and Fukaku. So, you know. So, listen, don't worry about Bachira or Chigiri. They are the main cast. So they are going to have an evolution. Like, I'm worried about other players. Nah, bro. I think, listen, I'm going to say something controversial. I think Bachira is one of the dumbest players in Blue Lock. Now, he's smart, like, he's dumb for Blue Lock. So, no one is faster than Loki. I think Loki is after Mbappe, and Mbappe is the fastest player in, like, real football. And Chris Prince, which should be after like Haaland. Haaland is the second fastest player in blue, like in football. Third is Ronaldo, I think, but I don't know. But so I think Loki, then Prince, then Noah is like the ranking of speed. Now hold on. There's a difference. Hugo's philosophy can't simply work for Japan due to yeah, listen, that's true, but you can't talk about physical differences and you have Baro and fucking Kunigami on your team. Like you have Rin. Look at what Rin. So typically we look at Germans, for example, as being bulky and tall and all of that. Like Germans, Norway, Denmark, Scandinavians and Germans like being bulky. Look at what Rin was doing to like two German guys. Hold on. So these are two German guys, and like Rin was opening them like a can of tuna. Look at this. Look at this shit. Hold on. Look at bro. Bro is charging. Oh, thank you, Illusion. Thank you for the banana. Thank you, Illusion. Thank you so lot. Hold on. Yeah, I don't even think bro, Raydark. We need to have a stream specifically about Raydark. So you know what? Like, ready your theories about Raydark, and we'll have a stream about him very soon. But for now, let's carry on. Soccer manga, yeah, there is a difference between Yugo's philosophy can simply work. So as I said, you can't tell me this guy right here doesn't have the physical aptitude to live with his best life, as Hugo said. Like we have Kunigami, we have Bar, we have Chigi, we have Yuki being fast, we have Otoya. So I don't think, I think Hugo was a little bit exaggerating. And we'll get to Hugo. What kind of evolution would Fukaku... Listen, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is the writer going to do with Fukaku, but I know it's going to be funny. And maybe it's going to be in the Colombian game where it doesn't matter, but who knows? Bro, don't say shit like that about Bachira's dad abandoning him. You never know. Maybe he died in a war or some shit. Bachira's mom is an artist. She got a useless fake degree. But listen. I love art and shit like that. But if you go to study art, it's always funny to me. I don't want to sound like a douche here, but what the fuck do you study in art? I know there are techniques for art, and which you could learn, but I always felt as if art is about expression, and no one can ever teach you about your own expression. Notice how even Ego does not teach the Blue Lockers about their own expressions. Bachira is like Mikey. Yeah, bro, he's like Mikey, exactly. Bro loves pizza and doesn't care about shit. So, listen, the Ballon d'Or values a lot of things. One of which is how you do in your national team. And we simply do not know if Snuffy even plays for whatever fucking national team he plays for. Because as far as we know, he's not Italian, right? Maybe he is, but maybe he's not. But there is a good chance that he doesn't play, because it never says that he won the World Cups. Yeah, bro, listen, the reason I remember chapters is this is literally my job. Think about it this way. Every time I make a video, in order to find this shot of rain, of course I make snippets, which I use in my videos, but every time I want to find this shot of Ren, I have to remember what chapter he did it. And I actually got a system in my head, because every time I remember the continuation of the events. This happened here, this happened after that, so I know exactly where I am. Then, after doing it a lot, I remembered all the chapter now. Most of the chapters. Hugo mentally can't fully work because of people like Isagi who don't want to live their suitability as a midfielder. Listen, I don't think Isagi... I don't think Hugo meant for Isagi to be a midfielder, but also, I don't think Hugo was wrong about Isagi. I think Hugo misjudged Isagi. He surely was correct about him not being suitable for being number one, but he quickly judged him as being number two. But then how do I say it? But then Isagi made him realize that there is a third option, which is the Baro option, being a rogue wild card that devours everyone. And I think that's a fault in his philosophy, but if he corrects that, it would work perfectly. On the Rin slander. So, as I said at the beginning of the chapter, the stream, I don't think Rin is to be blamed here. Ren definitely made the poo-poo with when he decided to show up. I think he should have showed up earlier when Isagi was battling Hugo. But like showing up that like at that time, it was definitely wrong. However, I think give me a second. So, however, I think like it's definitely not wrong. I don't think he deserves the amount of slanders we give him. Obviously, it's for the memes and all, but you know. I think art is more spiritual. Yeah, exactly. Like I think it's you either have it or you don't. Like it's like cursed energy from Jujutsu Kaisen. You just have the limitless or you don't. They allow them to play at a higher level. Hence, there is a lapse in skill. Loki also has a wider skill set. Blue Lock's players are significantly weaker than Francis. Well, I don't think so. In terms of like physicality, I think only Loki. Like this kind of proves it. By the way. Hold on. So when Hugo was thinking of a perfect striker, he thought of Noah. And he had the French team and he never thought about anyone except Noah. And Noah, we know he's a physical specimen. But then he met Loki. So like even within France, this is a very rare chance. I think, listen, living in your suitability is the best for most people. Isagi's suitability is to devour other people. I think Hugo was wrong in this point. Not that his philosophy was wrong. I would like an interaction with Butcher and Shido again. Bro, listen. I think the writer should do like a spin-off novel from Bachira or Shido's side just to have some interactions like we used to have with Nagi and Baru. That shit was really amazing. But between Charles, yeah, definitely Charles. Charles is the best passer right behind Sai right now. Levy was just Bachira's dad. Can you imagine? Like one day, Bachira's mom went to Brazil and she came back with Bachira. Oh shit! By the way, like I'm watching my stream and I got an ad from Crunchyroll and it shows Blue Lock. Like they're showing you ads about Blue Lock in a Blue Lock live stream. So YouTube is working well. Lavinio Megaru. By the way, we don't know his like last name. He could be Megaru. Is Hugo limited Loki's potential? No, actually. I think Hugo's downfall would cause Loki to awaken. I think at the finals, Isagi and Karasu and whoever would corner Hugo so much that he feels like he's choking. And there, Loki would awaken. Levi Kanalakis. What? Levi is only 29? Bro, he looks like an unk. Bro, Bachira's mom does not look as like 37. Like she looks 20, man. I mean, hey, I'm not assuming anything here. What if Loki all his life was never restricted? Yeah, that's what I said in the previous stream. I think because Loki, we know his restriction, I think he never got restricted enough for him to awaken. And I think once he awakens, he would be on Noah's level. And the finals of the real World Cups would be Noah, Hugo, and fucking Loki. Like just imagine that. Oh, and Charles too, by the way. Bro, listen, Hugo wins every aura. Like, give me a better aura than a cyborg like Hugo. I think maybe, I don't know, like even the monster or Baru's line, they don't stand to Hugo. What if Bachira's monster is actually Levi? Nah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Hugo's philosophy is not wrong. Like, he misjudged it. In a sense, he only put people in one or two categories where there is a third one, which is to devour both. And once he adopts that into his suitability, he now understands that there are people who are suited to destroy number one or number two. It's like, oh, true. Karasu's aura was insane, man. Like the talons of the crow, that was like insane. By the way, I can't wait to see Snuffy's Phoenix aura in its full like full Phoenix on on the field. Okay, hold on. Let's actually get back to the topic. Oh shit. Oh, actually, that's true. I think, listen, Hugo's aura is second to Nagi. Nagi's aura death is just like peak Blue Lock. Like Baru and Isagi, who else do you think would be a rebel? I think Kaiser too. I think Kaiser is definite rebel. Like Kaiser kind of hurt himself when he was not a rebel. Okay, hold on. Give me, guys, your MVP on both teams. Please write it in one message so I can read them. Your MVPs, and then your worst three players in both teams. Well, hold on. Your worst three players just for Japan. Who cares about France? Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's first talk about the MVPs, who did good, who did not, who did bad. Like Butcher and Chigiri. Yeah, as I said, like, don't worry for Butcher and Chigiri. They would get like an evolution. Don't worry. Bro, like, he was correct though. He was correct in calling Noah shitty. So yeah, I think Karasu is an obvious one for Japan, and Hugo is an obvious one for like France. Then who do you think was the second best player on Japan? Could Bunny who hates football and happy people help Rin? Bro, that's actually, bro, hold on. You made me realize, Drake, one funny thought. What if Bunny helps Rin beat his brother Sai up? Bro, imagine if Kanshiro does this. He betrays us all, and Rin actually betrays, and Rin betrays Sai and goes to play for FC Barca with Bunny. That would be the ultimate Uno reverse on Sai. Now, listen. I think, bro, what? Hold on. So we'll talk about the worst. So we agree. Karasu was like the MVP for Japan, and for France is Hugo. Okay, for the worst. So Aiko, Aryu, Ren. Aryu, Chigiri, Aiku. Hugo and Karasu are the best. Obviously, Ren, Gagamaru, and Aiku were terrible. Sendo is a bro. Sendo is nothing. Nah, okay. Hiyori would be second best. I'd say. Listen, Hiyori fucked up in the last play. And Isagi capitalized on that, sure, but like he fucked up by freezing. I wouldn't give him second. I would say second would be Baro. Because Baro like just joined and he immediately scored. And then like the second time he would have scored, he was against Hugo and another French defender. So I think definitely he is second. No, Isagi cannot be second. So hold on, let's talk. Okay, so give me a second, guys. I will stop replying just to explain who I think are the worst players in this game. So the first one, who I think the absolute dog shit of this game, is none other than the guy who got stomped over. Hold on, not this guy. Not this. The guy who got stomped over and did nothing. This is the worst guy in this game. Like he got stomped over by Kamos here, then he got subbed out. Now, with Chigiri, you could say Chigiri got also stomped over by Leiden, but Chigiri ended up doing something against Loki later. So I don't think Chigiri fits here. So I think Batra is the absolute dog shit of this game. Then, who I think the next behind him, I think it's Otoya. Despite me liking the guy to no end, he did nothing. Like, sure, he was against Loki here, but like he was hyped up, showed up, and then did nothing. Look at this. He showed up, then Loki stopped him. Now, obviously, Loki is insane, and you could say that it's unfair, but I don't know. He did nothing. So these are the two worst for me. Then we get to Aiku. Then I could have Aiku. Now, Aiku had the unfortunate reality of facing Hugo and Loki at their best. It's like, you can see here that he actually read it. He read their ultimate synchronization, but he's against Loki. What the fuck is he? Bro, what the hell? Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Hide this user. Bro, like people. Yeah, we need to have mods actually. Yeah, we'll get some. I'll get to know you people. Like I get to know you guys first. Then we'll get some mods. No, it's not the same guy. I hit the first one. This is another one. Yeah, we'll talk about Ren being benched, bro. Don't worry. Yeah, I think Bachara is the worst, and I think what's it called? Otoya is the second worst. Then we get Aiku. I don't think Aiku was complete dog shit because he was twice against Loki. So, you know. Now, at first, I was actually going to say that the third worst is Ryo, but Ryo actually did good, if you think about it. Ryo set up, hold on, what is it? Ryo set up Isagi twice. It's like we have it here. Ryo here set up Isagi perfectly, had it not, of course, been for Hugo. But then, in chapter, I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. So, bro's against Hugo, and he still set up Isagi perfectly, right? So, Ryo did actually good. I was gonna slander him for the latter half of the game, but he did actually good. Now, also, I think Hiyori did amazing in this game. Sure, he got dunked on a little bit by Loki at the end, but he tricked him here. He scored one goal. He almost was a passer of the final goal. So he deserves. Listen, I don't think Gagamaru could be in this conversation. So I think Aryu did much better than Aiku. So hold on. So Aryu stops Leiden here. Yeah, okay, hold on. So the chapter right before this one. So look at this. So Leiden was literally destroying Isagi, he was destroying everyone, right? Then he gets to Aryu, and then nah, I cannot pass him. Then so he decides to cross. So for that reason, that's half a feat for Aryu, better than anything that Aiku did, right? Then he actually does something he does another thing in chapter 343, yeah. So here, when Hugo confuses the Metavision users, he confuses them with Chemos and Leiden, you can see Isagi is completely lost, and Ryo is too lost. Kunigama being the goat that he is, he actually understood. Then you can see that the only ones who are reacting to them, Aryu went for Chemos and Karasu went for Leiden. So this is actually a feat. It just wasn't enough to beat Hugo and Loki. But in terms of stopping Chemos and Leiden's attack, Aryu here was great. I wouldn't say he did amazing, but he's definitely better than the worst three. Yeah, listen, I don't think Gagamaru, by the way, there is a theory. Passing means shooting in Blue Lock. So Charles is amazing at shooting because he's a good passer. Bro, do you think Gagamaru is worse than Lemon? Come on, guys. Hold on. You can't blame... Yeah, I don't think we should blame Gagamaru. We are giving crumbs... Listen, crumbs for feet, better than never touching the ball like Aryu or Bachira, right? I understand that they are crumbs for feet, but at least they're better than never touching the ball. Dragon what, bro? Ah, yeah, Dragon, yeah. Actually, Vahaska, that's actually a great point. Gagamaru literally is a plot keeper. He's great when he needs him, he's not great when he doesn't need him. So, the Height Cat, if you watch the live stream from the beginning, you'd see what I said about Ren. I said that it is not his fault. There are certain aspects that I would say it is his fault, but I don't think it's all his fault. Did what? What did Bachira do? So Bachira is better than Chigiri in dribbling because he had higher score in the NEL, and then Bachira improved while Chigiri didn't. Fukaku has more goalkeeper experience than Plotmaru. Yeah, but having more experience did not mean shit, because when the plot needed it, Gagamaru was much better. Yeah, it's not the worst, bro. Yeah, listen, I don't think it's fair to blame Gagamaru when he was against Loki with his predator eyes. Now, of course, you cannot say, listen, if you say Nico was bad, nah, I cannot fuck with you, because look at what bro did. Hold on, the one after this. So, and this is, by the way, from Hugo. This is not a random pass from a random player, and yet he still stopped it. So this is great feat. Aiku was not able to do this shit. Plotoshi or Plotsagi. I mean, they're both protected by plot a lot, which is fine, I guess. I actually love your Blue Lock brain, man. Yeah, so by the way, like I'm actually going to start doing streams like often, maybe even daily. Whenever I don't have a video, I could do a stream because I found that I have a lot of free time sometimes, especially at night, which it is almost 10 p.m. here. So I could talk with you guys, just chat, and bit by bit, I guess like we're gonna get more views on the stream. I honestly don't care. It's just I have a lot of theories and a lot of ideas regarding Blue Lock, and it's always fun to discuss them with you guys. And also, you get to explore your ideas as well. And we could do what you called we could do what's we could do voice chats, by the way, where like we have a queue and you join like maybe one or two at a time, and we have fun, like we discuss ideas and like things like that. And, and also, I might actually end up like having guests. Like maybe I'll ask Yasin to join me sometimes. Maybe I'll ask Iroh Assassin. Maybe Anamasu. Anamasu especially, I want to have him because when I started the channel, he was the guy like he was the guy like who pushed me. He was like the guy. Oh, and also I cannot forget like we need to have the Englishman. We need to have lessons from anime. Like that guy inspired me to start a Blue Lock channel. Because I was loving Baro so much, and his Baro video inspired me. Him and Yasin, I owe them this channel, so we definitely need to have them. Yeah, okay, so for Yorkcha. Listen, I don't think. Listen, bro, what did Aiku do? This is the issue. Aiku did not nothing. I did not say he's bad. Like he just did nothing. Yeah, bro, like we're reaching. Listen. I'm happy. I'm happy to stream for two people. Like, especially if we have ideas to talk about. I just wanna explore. We can have fun, right? And I don't think anyone does this. I don't think anyone streams Blue Lock regularly, right? So let's be the guy. Let's do fun. Yeah, we spoke about that. So I have a video. I actually have two videos: Lorenzo versus every striker, and Aiko versus and Loki versus every genius. And in both cases, I said Lorenzo literally has no way of dealing with Loki's speed. I mean, to be honest, we already, yeah, as I said. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about what Ego did, right? Let's talk about what yeah, Baro is actually my favorite. Like, he's my favorite character. So my top five are like this: it's Baro, Noah, Hugo, Karasu, and then a tie between Lorenzo and Snuffy. Yeah, listen, that was shit on Isagi's part, but like at the same time, it kind of made sense that he rebelled because Hugo is the number one player in the game. So maybe the number one does not mean in your own game. Maybe like regularly, right? But nah, I don't think. Listen, Nico is smart, but I don't think he is close, not even close to Hugo. Like I'll give you what Hugo does for fun. You know what? While everyone reads books and shit, look at what Hugo does. Like this is Hugo at his base form. He has an empty book and imagines like plays and shit like that in it. Look at this shit. I've never seen anyone in Blue Lock does this. This is Snuffy level of madman. Like this is why. So in terms of like being smartest, I think Snuffy and Hugo number one, Karasu number two, Isagi and Kazu number three. You could say that Isagi and Kazu are on Karasu's level, but I don't know. I feel like they are a little bit behind Karasu. Then at number five, I actually have Reo above Nico. Let me see. Kunigami got saved after being like complete dog shit in the NEL. He got saved in the PXG game and now in this game. So listen, one on one, Kaiser is much trickier to stop. But like 11 versus 11, Kaiser is much easier than Isagi to stop. So like 11 versus 11, you'd have much more problems with Isagi than Kaiser. But one-on-one, you'd have much more problems with Kaiser. But here's the thing. I consider Hugo's dueling to be on Lorenzo's level. And if Lorenzo can pocket Kaiser one-on-one, I think Hugo could do it. Obviously, the Magnus technique is still a thing. And I think that's the only way Kaiser could beat Hugo. Now, do I say that Hugo dominates Kaiser? I don't think so. I think Kaiser have more chance. I think Kaiser had more chance to score over Hugo than any other striker, but at the same time, I think Hugo could stop him. I'd say Hugo. I'd say. Listen, I even consider Aiko to be smarter than Nico. The thing with Nico, he is built up to be smart, but like he never thinks that deep during the game. That's the issue. Like he's always like hyped up to be that smart. Like his potential, like his Megumi of Blue Lock. Like it's always when or if, but never is. Like look at this shit. I'll show you something. This is what I knew. Isagi is much smarter than Nico. What was it like the first time he awakened his Metavision was like 217, I think. Yeah, so 217, I think. Yeah, Baro scores. So this is Isagi's play. Hold on. So this is Isagi's play, and then all of a sudden Nico bursts to the scene. Now, obviously, Isagi suspects that he has Metavision. That's cool and all. Now, Isagi here considered Nico actually to be on his level. But then, as soon as the play started, Isagi noticed that Nico is not thinking on his level. I'll show you why. And by the way, Isagi just explained Metavision to Nico. So you'd think Nico would think about everything, but no. Look at this. Look at this. You could see... Oh, it's actually cropped off here. You should see Raichi here. Where is it? Hold on. You see, this is Raichi here at the corner. And like the writer here shows you that Nico is focused on Isagi. He sees a little bit of Kaiser and Lorenzo's duel, but like he doesn't see Raichi here. And so what Isagi does, he goes this way. He goes towards Dagon. Drago. I said Dagon. Right? So then when Nico jumps in, he does not see Raichi at all. Like he does not see him at all. I'll show you what the motherfucking Isagi did when, like, the first time he unlocked Metavision. Just to show you the difference, like, in terms of brain between Isagi and Nico. Okay, I don't think it's this one. This one chapter. Yeah, okay. By the way, this panel, man. This panel goes hard. This shit here goes hard. And I'll show you, by the way, a colored version of this shit. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is like one of my favorite panels in the entirety of the show. Hold on, let me see. I saw a big agree Rin is at fault for losing. No, we don't agree Rin is at fault. I think Rin was like a little. Oh wait, what happened to the stream? Can you guys see? Oh, okay, you can. Look at this shit. So yeah, we spoke a little bit. But we will talk about it. We'll talk about it more. Bro, what the Yaoi or Yuri? Come on, man. It's not the conversation for this. Yeah, the brain panels. There are actually many brain panels, and I could show you a few because I have them memorized. So look at what Isagi did the first time he unlocked Metavision. Like, remember how Nico like completely did not see Raichi? Look at Isagi. Look at bro. He's already looking at a lot of players, but then look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Like, you don't understand how crazy Isagi was. And by the way, this became default Isagi. This is the reason Isagi like improved a lot. He went from a regular player to seeing all this shit. Just like that, but just by observing Kaiser. And this is why I said like his adaptability like bridges the gap to his like him not being as smart as Hugo or Snuffy. Like, because his adaptability may be even more impressive than just being smart. Yeah, bro, like the colorists of this like manga that were insane. Hold on, let me show you some brain shots. So there's one. Hold on, there's one that happens in the Ubers game. I think it was chapter 226. Yeah, I think it's 226. Yeah, so here Isagi is thinking about if Yuki did, then he realizes, look at this shit, this is insane. He realizes we need to prove it with goals. Like, saying it's that or that doesn't matter. We need goals. This is what I like about it. Then There is another one when he was about to stop Rin and then he crashed with him. So I think it's 274. It's 274. Yeah, look at this shit. This goes hard, man. And this, by the way, the first time we see this like ascended metavision. Yeah, Hiyori. Hold on. What's actually what is the position of Hiyori? Is he still like a wing? Yeah, I think he's flexing, man. Bro, that's true. They get fucked up in the hard copy. But like imagine reading the double spread like in like a chapter, like in a chapter book. That shit would go hard, man. So listen, you actually made Edrago. You actually made a great point regarding Rin, and this is a good point. So we can go for it. In my opinion, was the two-gun volley. Yeah, the two-gun volley really went hard, man. So, regarding Rin, so in terms of football, and this is what I said at the beginning, I'm just going to repeat it just a tiny bit for people who just joined, because I think I explained it to only 10 people. Hold on. So, here's what I said. So, you see, this is the start of the battle. If Rin intervened here, which is what Baro would have done, Rin would intervene here. He would not leave it for luck, 50-50. He would intervene, he shoots, and he scores. That's valid. That's perfect. But the issue with what Rin did, like Isagi won. Isagi won against Hugo. There is literally no reason for him to join in. Literally nothing. Like the only thing I could think about is just him being a hyena. And that does not make sense. Isagi won. Like this is Isagi's like, how do I say it? Isagi really poured his heart here. So why would you steal it like that? And by the way, as I said, Baro does not do this shit. I'll show you an example. Baro does it in a different way, and it makes much more sense. When it was 50-50 between Shido and Loki here, guess what Baro does? Baro shows up before it. Shido was not about to shoot or anything. The ball was still in the air, and Baro takes it. This is the difference. So what Baro did is completely valid, because he turned a 50-50 chance into a 100% chance. And by the way, this is a stealth kill shot. Like, people don't understand. Baro usually shoots to the top corner, but like he hit his shot behind Shido and Loki. This right here meant Baro had a 100% chance to score, while here it was 50-50 with Shido and Loki. And this makes Baro, like much like Noah said, the best striker in Blue Lock, hands down. And this is why he is the only one who scored in every game. Then if we go back to Rin really, hold on, is this? Yeah, Rin really fucked up, because when it was 50-50, he did not intervene. But then, when Isagi won, he had his win. Why would you ruin it? Why would you jump in here? This is Rin's fault. The moment where he intervened is wrong. Now, him intervening is actually within Blue Lock, right? It is exactly within Blue Lock. Yeah, by the way, guys, sorry if I don't read comments, because like I'm trying to explain this the best I could. Now, where it gets to ego is Rin intervening in the first place. It's Hugo's reaction right here. Hugo was like, what the fuck are you doing, Rin? Isagi won, why would you ruin it? And this is why Hugo was completely disappointed in the next chapter. Like, I thought, like, not me, like Hugo's thinking, I thought I would be impressed by Isagi. Isagi did something amazing, that's great. And I think Hugo is mature enough to actually admire Isagi here. But then Rin had to ruin it. And this kind of made everything go dark for Hugo. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, Rin? And of course, we all know what happened. Now, as I said, Rin is actually correct in terms of like following Ego's like philosophy. But Ego is such a maniac. This is where it gets to like Ego's domain. Ego is such a maniac that he made this play seem the most logical for Ren. This is what I'm going to say. This is completely like Ego's fault. Ego told them you always need to think about yourself. But like there are moments where if you think about yourself, you hurt your own team. And say what you will, if you always hurt your team, you will never be the best striker. Like you could score, but if you always hurt your team and you always are losing because of you could never be the best striker. Now, Noah, if we go to the first chapter, if you remember, if we go to the first chapter, okay, yeah, whatever, this bullshit. Hold on. Yeah. By the way, Kira really has some balls. He was the only one to speak up. Anyways, let's go back. Yeah, so this shit right here. So instead of assisting my teammates to win by 1-0, it feels better to pull off a hat-trick and lose 3-4. You think this is crazy? How could, like, ego is just following what Noah says? But like, I think this is a mischaracterization from ego to the character of Noah. Noah values results more than anything, including win or losing. If you remember, sure, you need to score, but but Noah also values the team winning. There is literally no reason for you to be like to shine, and then the team loses. That's what I think. Chris Prince is like that. I don't think Noah is. I think, listen, Noah is a numbers guy. He just runs numbers in his brain, and like the best option he takes. And the best option most of the times is for you to score and also for the team to win. And also, notice the word in here. And this is where we get to the ugly side of Jinpachi and why he's actually fucking manipulating people. And here, I gotta give a huge shout out to this guy named Crow Jr. on Twitter. He actually did, he actually explained this perfectly. And this was a while ago. So by the way, like he was really smart for pulling this off. But going back a little bit, notice the wording. Instead of assisting my teammates to win, it feels better to pull off a hat-trick and still lose. So he is programming the Blue Lockers to favor scoring over losing. Like if it means to score, if it means to lose and you score, you should do it. But like, look at what Noah said. It's about assisting. It's about playing in a game where Noah cannot score. This is different. This is completely different than... Okay, hold on. I need to open another tab. Weeb Central. This is completely different to this situation. Rin is not assisting Isagi. He just should not intervene with him. Sure, Rin, you should go for your own goal, and you should always hunt for it, like Baro, like Shido, like everyone. But not by hurting your team and hurting Isagi's chances here. As I said, if Rin did it right here, I would have said yes. He was completely right. But like, because he did it like too late, he did it as Isagi won against fucking Hugo, which by the way, it's the first time Hugo loses. So like, you'd think the brainwashing is not strong enough to cause Rin to show up here. And this, by the way, so beautiful that it explains why Isagi and Hugo did not understand it. Because to them, even if they see Rin, there is no way Rin would intervene after Isagi have won. If Rin should have intervened, it should have happened before. That's why they were so shocked. Like, what the actual fuck, Rin? And it also explains why Hugo was completely disappointed. Oh wait, no. What the fuck? Come on. And it also explains why Hugo was completely disappointed here. Like, you'd think after losing to Isagi, look at his face. Look at his face. Look at bro. Bro was he literally lost interest. Because as great as the play was from Isagi or Karasu, Rin's timing ruined everything. By the way, yeah, I spoke about Ario, by the way, Drake. I think you were not here, but I spoke about Ario. Yeah, so this is because of Hugo's brainwashing. Hugo brainwashed Rin so much that the guy, no longer knows right from wrong. And I'm gonna say something. Rin is confused right now. Rin is hitting puberty, not literally, but in terms of his football. He always was first. He never lost in Blue Lock, and he always dominated it. But then, all of a sudden, he is number 2 to Isagi. And by the way, the NAL ranking doesn't matter. He knows that he was number 2 to Isagi. Isagi completely won, fair and square. And so he doesn't know how to react. Rin does not. And so the only thing that he has is literally this brainwashing from ego. And so the moment he was pushed into irrelevancy, here in chapter 345, the moment he was pushed into irrelevancy, what happens to him? He pops veins. Right? At least he attempted to score in comparison to Isagi at the beginning of the NEL, where he had no chance to do anything with the ball. And, listen, Isagi prior to to Metavision, we shouldn't talk about him. This is a completely different player. I would say it's the worst chapter. I'd like this chapter. By the way, guys, please understand that I can't read all the comments where I'm explaining something like big like this, right? With Samurai Sword, I literally don't know. We need to wait for Ego. By the way, Ego's training could be shit, because the training he had for Rin was complete mischaracterization again. He wanted Rin to suppress what makes him Rin. Like even Sai understood that Rin needs this Rin needs this state. Like if you remember back, if you go 124, I think. Hold on. Rin. Oh, what? Yeah. So you'd think Rin right here is copying Sai. So you'd think Sai would be happy. Rin is not doing his destroyer mode, but no. Sai, after he destroys him, whatever, look at this. Play soccer, look at this. Then give it up. But because if you just want to play soccer with me, like you're not going to beat Bunny. You're not going to beat Hugo. You're not going to beat Loki. You're not going to beat Noah. You're not going to beat even Isagi or Baru. Like you need, because if you remember, this Rin failed at the U20 game. And Berserker Rin needed to emerge. And in the NEL, without Berserker Rin did not hang to Baru with his Predator eyes or Isagi and Kazu with their Metavision. So Sai understand his brother. But Ego was not able to see this. And he gave him such a shitty half-assed training. Hold on. Where was it? When was it shown? Was it 18 or I think 21? Yeah, so it was 21. It was 20, I think. By the way, this panel right here goes fucking hard, man. Look at this shit. Look at this stand, by the way. Listen, this looks like Gojo and this looks like Sukuna. Like they're about to throw hands, man. Blue Lock fans generally need someone to hate only because someone plays bad for one match. Listen, I like Rin. I hated him back in the PXG game, but I like him right now. Because I feel like he's just confused. He has so much talent. He is second to Isagi, then gets abandoned by Isagi. The only thing he has right now is the brainwashing from Ego, and so he does that shit. Anyways, I was always saying about this fucking panel. Look at this shit. This looks like Gojo and Sukuna. And by the way, this is the second time we have another panel like this. I know I'm straying a little bit, but I gotta show you. You gotta enjoy art too. So when Snuffy joins in, there is a shot. Look at this shit, bro. Just look at this shit. Look at this shit. I think it's not Plot Sagi that's ruined Ren. I think it's in his character that he be lost. And in the Spain game, I think that's when we get the real Ren. And the Ren. No, it's actually, listen, so I don't think Sai is better than Ren at coaching. I think Sai understands his brother better. That's the thing. I don't even, listen, I think the only one who would be better at coaching than Ego would be either Snuffy or Hugo. Right? By the way, I gotta have dinner while we do this. Yeah. Kaiser and Isagi here look like they are about to fight Snuffy. Look at this shit. By the way, he was fucking numbed out. Like, he was fucking bastard. These Blue Lock panels as reference cause some poses. Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, we need Kaiser versus Bunny. As soon as season 3 drops, we will have Kaiser versus Hugo. I know you've been eager to have it, but we need to have that shit. And also, yeah, before we get to Ego, hold on. What do you guys think the next matchup should be? I'm thinking Hugo and Loki versus Prince and Levi, or the Itoshi brothers, or Kaiser and Isagi. I don't know, something like that. What do you think? Bro, Drake, we actually spoke about Aryo when you weren't on the stream. Yeah. Okay. So let's read this shit. Hold on, where am I? I wonder, yeah. Ah, shit. Don't tell me I lost it. Many people criticized me. Okay, let's talk. This is the thread. I love this thread. Let's read it together. Yeah, do you think? Yeah, I'll make a poll. Hold on, I'll make a poll. You know what? Let's make a poll right now. Hold on, I'll do it off stream. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Versus the Itoshi brothers. Then we have Hugo and Loki versus Kaiser and Isagi. Now, hold on. Now, listen. I don't think so. Hugo knew. Not Hugo, but Ego, because I feel like with him, like putting Baro and Shido, like he was feeding into his own theory. Yeah, I could do that too. Yeah. Give me a second. I need to like this. This will take a bit, but give me a second. Bro, what does Coca-Cola have to do with Kaiser's dad, though? Bro, that's true. Like Hugo should give his books to Zantetsu, but for a different reason. Okay, so the first one. Second one should be Isagi. Give me a second, guys. Isagi. By the way, sorry, I'm having my dinner right now, but thank you, bro. Insomnia. Actually, that's one of the things I'm waiting for. Kaiser, Sai, yeah, Kaiser and Sai's reaction to Isagi losing. Well, not Isagi, but Blue Lock. By the way, the poll is up, guys. Go vote. Go vote on what do you want to see. What do you want to see, by the way, first? We could do multiple. Yeah. But it's I don't know what do I even call the sandwich. It's like the liver of like a cow with like some fries, like salad, some shit. I don't know what my wife cooked. I don't know. And like obviously hot sauce. Yeah, Friday. Yeah. The Dawn vid, I actually will do it. You know what? We'll do Hugo versus like can Hugo stop every striker? Yeah, that's great. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. Let's talk about let's talk about how nasty this ego motherfucker is. By the way, oh thank you, bro. Maybe and there's sure. Wait, what do you mean? Check my poll now. You guys already voted? Yeah, it's only 9 votes, bro. 333. That's perfect. Look at this. So 333. Yeah, we did. It was a cow. No, well, not a cow, like an ox. Happy 82, bro. Okay, I'll send the link. Hold on. Well, how do you do that? Oh, okay. Here we go, guys. Eid Mubarak, guys. Yeah, thank you. You can vote here. No, bro. France only won because Sendo was not on the field. Yeah, Sendo, Nana, so you can think about it. Okay, so you want to see the Itoshi brothers more. Okay. Great, okay. Let's get back to ego for a second. So, this Crow Jr. guy made such a beautiful thread on ego, and we need to, like, listen, it's a mic drop. Like, we need to read this shit. So, huge shout out to this guy, which, by the way, you could follow him here. This is his account. By the way, before we do, actually, there is these shots. I don't know if you saw them, guys. It's like one of the things that I noticed. Look, they all seem too serious. Like, and we don't know what this is. Like, it's not. It's. I think it is for like the World Cup. The High Cat, thank you, bro. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining as a member. It really makes my day, bro. By the way, as I said, for those who did not hear it, I will be like streaming now, like almost daily. This shit is too fun, and I always like have 3 to 4 hours to waste. So why not have fun with you guys instead of like playing a game or some shit? And also, like it's not tiring or anything. Like I'm not getting like, how do I say it? I'm not getting tired from doing this. This is like just perfect. Oh wait, I'm gonna just have it at 3. Bro, YouTube is telling me I could do this, but I don't wanna. You know what? Should we? Give me a second, guys. YouTube is telling me to set up this. I don't want to listen. You don't have to. Yeah, we do voice chat. This is just to set up, but like the voice chat would be open for everyone. It's like like. Hold on, give me a second. Sorry guys for like interrupting the stream a little bit, but like, give me a second. Okay, so we could set it up maybe here. Yeah, here should be fun. So I didn't want us to. Oh wait, you need to like. Yeah, thank you, the High Cat. Thank you guys, bro. My videos love you too, and I love you guys all. By the way, you don't have to donate if you can't. Like this is completely free, but I would thank you guys if you do so. Also, for like the goal, the voice chat would be open for everyone. It's just I needed to write something for it. So if you can't, you don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. Okay, so let's. What the hell? Okay. So these are like the images, by the way. Look, this is something I did not expect. Bachira never looked this serious. Like, it's actually insane. Yeah, my videos love you too, man. What the hell? So, as I said, I want to see this. I want to see Bachira like this. It's just insane. It literally is insane. If you like, imagine a serious Bachira. Bachira that would fuck you up with his dribbling. I would like pay money to see that shit. If I had, bro, listen, you don't have to. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it at all. Like, obviously, I would appreciate it if you do, but like, it's not like I'm not one of those who are ungrateful for you guys. Just watching me is enough. As I said, I would stream for like 2 people if that would have been the case. I do this because I love Bluelock so much and I love the community. Which, by the way, it's funny. The Bluelock community is always insane. Anyways, so as I said, I would love to see Bachira like this. I would love to see this serious Bachira. Which, by the way, Chigiri and Nagi also too look too serious. Like, this is a focused Nagi. This is maybe the Nagi we would get after he comes back. Then, of course, we have Isagi, which I know this is low quality, but I have him here. This shit is fire, man. Like, I want one with Baro and Rin. Speaking of which, look at this. This also was like drawn by Nomura. Kaiser like is aura farming for no reason. Bro is aura farming with like his hair strands. Yeah, that's the issue. Like, I feel like Bachira's character is kind of complete. Yeah. So, the High Cat. I actually made a video on this. By the way, let's see this one. I made a video on this one. The only explanation is that Hugo got nerfed. So, if we go to this one, hold on. So 245. if you go here, so Hugo, look, he came from behind. Although the optimal play would have been to stop Barrow, the optimal play would have been to come like Charles. However, the reason he came from behind was later revealed because he was expecting Isagi. Look where he positioned himself. He was expecting Isagi and he saw him. So naturally, being the guy who stopped Isagi before regarding everything, you'd expect him to stop this one too, like the spin. But for some reason, we're meant to believe that he was a second late or he forgot. So the only explanation for this is that he was nerfed. Yeah, I did a video on this like when it dropped because it really infuriated me. So as I said, the only thing is just it was nerfed, and you could think about it in any way. You'd end up in the fact that Hugo had to be nerfed for this to work. From there though, once Hugo nerfed and this happened, the gamble play is 50-50, so like nothing he could do. But before it, he definitely got he definitely got nerfed. Yeah, that would be a good Butcher Awakening. I don't think so. I don't think Nagi would return in the England game. I think he would be saved for like a Brazil game. Which is kind of scary, by the way. Because it could mean that Japan might not win against England. It could end in a tie. And here's the thing. Hold on. So, we go to 26. Come on, load. If we look at the score, so Japan beat Nigeria 4-0, right? If Japan ties with England, England would need to beat Nigeria 3-0 because the difference in goals matter. So Japan has 4 goals, then they received 4 goals in the France game, so they have 0. But they also scored 2, so they are +2. As for England, they lost to France 2-1, so they are -1. In order to become +2 like Japan, and they would go to penalties if it is a draw, they would need to beat Nigeria 3-0. 3-0 would put them on +2, right? So I'm thinking if Nigeria maybe loses 2-0 against England, I'm thinking that Japan might just have to survive England in a tie for them to advance. And I think maybe Karasu would carry them through this playing style, while Isagi, for example, is still struggling or something like that. Now that's a theory, by the way. The other theory is that Nagi might join in the next game because he has history with Agi, and so maybe he does. Yeah, Levy is Brazilian. So we're talking here. By the way, people were defending someone who wears a bra. JK. Anyways, let's go to Bunny. That happy kid from before. Oh, so listen, I have to fail you guys here. I literally cannot, do not know what the fuck he's talking about here. There are plenty of people who can't start, for example, immediately I can think of Ren. Maybe Ren, maybe Isagi, I don't know. If Ego gets challenged, which is something we will cover in a second, if Ego gets challenged, he might throw Isagi, because Isagi is about to talk to him, he is about to talk shit. So Ego might get angry and get salty and bench him for one game. You never know. I really do not know what he means, I really do not know what he means, so you're one of us too. Because he said, huh? That happy kid from before. I don't know, I literally have nothing. needs 4 goals lead. No, to make so if England has 3 goals lead, they would go to penalties. But if they have 4 goals lead, you're right. England would win, would advance. So I think maybe England would only get 2-0 win against Nigeria, and then they dominate Blue Lock with 2 goals, and then maybe Barrow scores, and then Shido or whatever, and they tie the game at the end. And they win by just tying it, which means they are looking really bad to win the World Cups. Then, of course, they jump up the ranks. Nah, I doubt he means striker. Oh, maybe, maybe you're right, because he never knew Isagi was a striker or a player. Maybe that's what he means, yeah. Because he never spoke to Isagi about actually playing on this, bro, what the fuck? On this high level. So maybe he did not think that he is of this caliber. Or maybe, no, he knew. No, he knew Isagi was a footballer, because Isagi told him, I love football. And Bunny kind of judged him for it. So in regards to Isagi being the center of attention, I have a theory that Isagi might end up the villain of Blue Lock. If you are the villain, then everyone wants to beat you. Who is Japan facing? Bro, thank you again. So for Japan, who's Japan facing? Obviously, we know the group. They're going to face England, but this is the brackets that we made. So Japan is going to face Brazil, then they're going to face Spain, then they're going to face either Colombia or Switzerland or Iran or Peru or Portugal, one of these, right? No, not Portugal. One of these four countries. Then in the semifinals, they're going to face Kaiser, and finally they're going to face France at the finals. So this is after taking the actual World Cups rules, how they qualify from groups and shit. So, by the way, I shared this on my Discord, and I should share it here. That's true, yeah. I should share it here. By the way, so you obviously want the Itoshi brothers, okay. Yeah, good to know. Yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe they feel kind of one-sided in a sense, but we'll do it regardless. It's fun. Here, I'll give him a heart. Wait, how do you... So I know how to give, I don't think I can. Yeah, I think I can give hearts like this, but... It's what? Nah, don't worry. I can answer it again. But yeah, you could ask first, then if I didn't answer it, you could donate. Just so you don't waste your money, bro. No, Nagi is not going to be the villain. That's actually a point I'm going to explain. Okay, I'll refresh it, but we just did not reach the good part. That's the thing. Nagi, I don't mean the villain in Blue Lock, but I mean the villain in the world of football. Nagi is going to be as if a savior. So let's actually talk about it. So now that we're nearing the breaking point of the Blue Lock project. So this guy, by the way, he suspected this back in April, which is great, by the way. I think it's time to explain some of the reasons why I maintain a distance from this character. There will be blood. which obviously will. Now, this thread is amazing, by the way. If you want to read it on your own, but like, here we go. So, Ego Jinpachi's transformation from authoritarian madman to visionary genius isn't solely due to Kanshiro's writing talent, but rather to very real psychological mechanisms that manipulate the reader's perception. This is actually so true. The writer is one hell of a motherfucker that he actually uses psychology to manipulate how you see players. And I noticed this, you know when? I noticed it when I actually found myself liking Baro. Baro is a despicable character if you think about it. But I just love the guy, right? Like, why would you like someone like Kaiser, who has a superiority complex, who thinks of himself as trash, and who treats everyone like trash? Bro was literally trashing Ness all over. But like, you love Kaiser because we are psychologically manipulated to love the guy. That's the funny thing. And I love this guy for like hinting at it. Okay, hold on. So he as you first see him, he is literally a madman. As he said, he is an authoritarian madman. But then he transforms into a visionary. Like you can see Isagi enchanted here. Like he enchanted him by like presenting Noah, Kaiser, the clubs, like so in a sense, we got manipulated the same as Isagi, and more importantly, the same as fucking Ren. That's the important part. Listen, they're not going to play against all the new gens because of this. France will face Italy and Argentina, so there is a good chance there are 2 or 3 new gens here. We already know Lorenzo is here, but I don't know about the others. So they're not going to face them all. But as I said, because this game here is a placeholder for Japan, like they go from Brazil, which is insane, Japan that is insane, which is probably going to the most insane after France, to facing like a random team here from the random team from these 4. So my thought is we're gonna get like things from France versus Italy's perspective, maybe from Lorenzo's perspective against Hugo, maybe from Hugo's perspective against Italy. It's gonna be amazing. And one thing I gotta point out why this is very important. Italy is a known team for being defensive. So they are going to present the ultimate way to stop Hugo and Loki. So if anything is going to give Japan a hint on how to defeat the champions, it's going to be the Italy team. This is why I have high hopes to finally seeing Loki, Loki versus Lorenzo and Hugo versus Lorenzo, right? So because Germany is on like the second half, they only could meet in the finals. And I don't see Italy beating France, and I don't see Germany reaching the finals. Maybe if Kanshiro pulls off like an insane twist and have Japan lose to Germany, that would be insane too. Yeah, I've been telling you guys, bro is the best in terms of writing psychology. Which, by the way, would like a video on like anime powers that are like science, for example, psychology in Blue Lock, math with goodbye Star, goodbye. Math with like Gojo's Infinity, physics with One Punch Man, Garo versus like I want to make a video on like when science was used to make like insane moments in anime great. That would be interesting. Yeah, maybe they could play, but like again, those teams are like placeholders. So maybe I don't know, maybe they could. Anyways, let's get back. The mere exposure will play a major role. Initially, Ego is a visual and moral anomaly. This is because like he was weird to everyone. Look at Isagi, like what the fuck is the bro talking about? Then with white but like this is I don't care about this, but White Eyes living in the dark and advising selfishness in a team sports. So at first he really was different. It's a cognitive shock, but we get used to it even if we don't want to. However, by seeing him appear in every chapter to explain the stakes, his face and rhetoric becomes familiar. This is true, by the way. He was weird the first time you see him, but then we, as watchers and the Blue Lockers, get used to him, especially to his wisdom, because he always spewing wisdom and he is always right. Emphasis on being always right, because History typically is written by the winner, and if you are a winner, you get to say that I am right, which plays a lot. So what was diabolical? Yeah, this is exactly what was diabolical in Volume 1 becomes the typical of Ego after a few volumes. Now, when he shows up, like everyone, like, oh, it's Ego, he's gonna lay some wisdom. Look at Bro at the beginning. Then he continues, this is where the trap closes on the reader. Ego puts forward theories that are often shaky or extreme, but the manga uses an unstoppable narrative technique, validation by outcome. This is what I said. Everything is about results. If everything is about results, this is the first rule, if you remember, that Bachira and Isagi reached. If everything is about results, then no matter how crazy, like Ego could tell them chop your balls for to win, and it would feel normal to them because he never got challenged. He's always winning. Like Isagi, Rin, Baro, who are the embodiment of his theory, keeps on winning. So he proves that he's right by just winning. And this is dangerous, by the way. Just because you're winning does not mean you're right. This is especially true for politics, but politics and history. But we don't want to get into that because I don't want to get canceled. Anyways. Yeah. Ego's shirt was squeezing life out of him, but he has no muscles. Yeah. Yeah, then Ego predicts a behavior or impose an absurd constraint. Isagi, or another player, ends up succeeding because of this. I'll give you an example. An example of what he's talking about here. Remember in chapter, not chapter 1, hold on. I don't think it's chapter 4 or 5 maybe. It's like when we got introduced to Baro. So Ego tells them throw everything through the window. You're not playing football, you're just catching the ball. Okay, this is not right. This does not sit right with Kunigami, does not sit right with Isagi, yada yada whatever. So they play, it's total chaos. And this is the moment we get tricked, literally as watchers, and Isagi and everyone else gets tricked. Look at this. Isagi is thinking even teammates are turning on each other after being told to bring out their egos, thanks to the rule that says whoever scores the most goals gets to advance. Did he really mean this lame dump in soccer? Lame. He thinks it's lame. So Isagi is just us. This is not soccer. Obviously this is not going to be techniques. When he said rebuild from zero, this isn't soccer at all. So this is the shock he's talking about here. It's a behavior that Ego imposes. Then, of course, if he wasn't Isagi, if he wasn't Rin, it's going to be Baro. So Baro breaks through, destroys the entirety of the team. He's the embodiment of what Ego wants, and then scores. And he destroys Isagi. He destroys these two idiots, and then scores easily. Now, this is not a complete win, because it is still not football, right? Well, no. Guess what happens after it? Because Baro showed results, Team Z is still in disarray, but Team X is starting to revolve around Baro. So immediately, guess what happened? Isagi starts to believe Ego's theory. So this, if you did not study psychology or anything, this is part of manipulation. By forcing results to be the only thing that matter, and showing the desired results that you want, you condition your kid, typically, which is what parents do, your kids or your friends or sometimes your significant other, to actually be manipulated. And this is why I said it's not Rin's fault. Rin is actually being manipulated all this time, not just by Ego, but also by Isagi and Baro and everyone else who got also manipulated by. So it's a constant feedback because everyone feeds to the other. The ambiguities in his argument are overlooked, and all that remains is the fact that it works. Exactly. It works. Baro led the team is around him, they are now a team. Isagi realizes that, and he says, Baro's play breathed life into a fragmented team. So now, by the way, Isagi already accepts Ego. He doesn't know it, but he already accepts Ego. Which is great if Ego is right, but it's very dangerous if Ego is wrong. By the way, I'm not reading, guys, because I really want to get this out. By the way, that's true. Look at how scrawny Baro was. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Baro really was like scrawny. Which, by the way, it's because at first Baro was supposed to be Nagi. He was supposed to be Nagi mixed with Ren. He was supposed to be the number one player of the entirety of Blue Lock, and he was supposed to be a guy who can shoot and score from every position. But then he was reduced, split into three players: Nagi, the insane player; Ren, the number one player; and Baro, who can shoot from every position, like who can shoot from almost anywhere and scores, which is Ren too, if you think about it. But like, I love that he split it because we got Baro's mentality, which is one of the best. Anyways, enough about Baro. So at first, the enemy is Ego in his prison-like system, but very quickly the antagonist shifts. It becomes Japan's football union, deemed corrupt and outdated. Now, this is where Boratsuta plays a lot. He's a stereotypical hated man. Like, you see him, you hate him. He's bald, he's fat, like he's boring, he likes only money, he doesn't care about like the young, and like Ego is seen as the guy who cares about Isagi, he cares about like, so this motherfucker here, who seems like the villain, is a tool meant to make Ego more likable. Like, I'm telling you, Kanshiro is just insane at like psychologically manipulating people. But he has got his setup. The issue is, I'm thinking how the three are going to deal with Bunny. Bunny is set up to be like an antagonist who can destroy them all. Yeah, actually you're right. Ren can do them all. So in the character. So maybe Baro got changed to Ren. But like in the first sketches by Kanshiro, Baro was meant to be like the Ren, Nagi, Ren, and Baro, all in one character, but then got split. Anyways, so let's carry on. By placing Ego in opposition to an even more detestable system, he then becomes the necessary rebel. As I said, this is very like, and even if you think about it, most of us who watch this hate this this politician looking alike, right? Boratsuta looks like a politician. This is why we immediately hated him. Like millennials like me and Gen Z who are after me, which typically are the readers of Blue Lock, we already hate like this boomer looking motherfucker, right? So we immediately assume Ego is the right guy. So as I said, like, we're getting manipulated by this motherfucker. Imagine what's happening to the Blue Lockers. Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm getting at, yeah. Side B now is going to be either a challenge or a way to correct Ego's mentality. It really could go either way. Because it could end up as just another challenge for Blue Lock that they grow from it, which I wouldn't really like. Or we genuinely might see the first time where Ego is proven wrong and he learns from it and becomes a better coach. Which I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to see that. I would love for Kanshiro to actually, for the first time, question his own, because if you didn't know, Kanshiro said that he considers himself Ego. Like, he's writing the show as in he is Ego. That's what I'm saying. Boratsuta, just his appearance. You don't need to know how slimy he is. Just his appearance, you'd hate it. Because, as I said, we millennials and Gen Zers, we grew up in like a world where boomers fucked it up. Whether you look at the environment, whether you look at the wars, whether you look at like endless, money scams, whatever you think about it, we hate him. By the way, here in Algeria, we have like a name for Uber for boomers, which is kind of like a slur that means outdated. And we say that outdated is like a theory, like not a theory, like an ideology that is in these like old motherfuckers that is still ruining us to this day. And Kanshiro knows this exactly, by the way. And so he made Buratsuta looks like this. So the first time you see him, you hate him immediately. You don't even need to hear him talk. But that's manipulation. Got clowned by the fandom too. I mean, yeah, because we were manipulated. We thought Karasu sold out, but Karasu actually. By the way, okay, I keep straying like aside, but this is something, bro. Look at this shit. Cancel this shit. This is something I wanna talk about regarding Karasu. Karasu looked so human here in this chapter. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, here. So like, he wanted to be a striker, but like his everything made him be a defensive midfielder. And by the way, there is an insane foreshadowing for this back in like chapter 108 or something like that. Hold on, give me a second, guys. So like when they were choosing who would play. So he chose Rin as the main like attacking force, yada yada. And then, so he said, look at this. So he says, Tabito Karasu, you will be the heart of the team. Karasu was actually annoyed. Then, if you remember what is his motto, don't let them get to you. Don't show people your true motive. So he was mad that he did not choose him as a striker, but rather as the heart of the team, as a defensive midfielder. And so he just showed, I had a feeling you'd say that, jerk. So like, this is just sad from a perspective of you want to be something, but like everything around you, from within or outside, drives you to be a defensive midfielder. And so it really annoyed him where he sees Isagi, who he considers like him, reaching that being a striker. So at the end, he says, fuck it, I'll just be in the light. And this is why, and even here, like even Karasu, who defied Ego, still had so much respect for him. I am grateful for Ego, and he uses the sun, which is like a sign of respect in Japanese, as you know. Yeah, listen, bro. Like, I've been making videos on like Blue Lock for almost 3 years now. Like, I think this July it would be 3 years. If you do it for as long as I did, you probably memorize it too. Yeah, listen. As I said, it's my favorite fictional thing that I've ever read. Before, like, I used to like things like Attack on Titan, but like when I read Blue Lock, I felt like they were child's play, especially because of this psychological aspect. This is why I love this. This is why I love the civil war that's going to happen in Blue Lock, because it's going to be a civil war of like psychology. First time Blue Lock playing in big tournaments. First time Ego Philosophy facing the world. That's why author brought Kira back. Oh shit, that's actually a great point. The reason he brought Kira so late to the story was not because he missed an opportunity back in the NEL. No. He brought him when the first time Ego's theory got challenged. That's a perfect point, bro. Like, that's actually perfection. I really like this. This is exactly why I love these streams. Like, we get to like have a back and forth, things that I did not notice, things that you guys did not notice, and it's insane. Anyways, so let's continue. So as I said, we hate the boomers. That's part of the manipulation. So we like Ego more because this boomer sucks, even in his methods, and even his methods are morally questionable. He is portrayed as having a vision that no one else sees. That's actually true. Remember when he had them train like crazy, saying that you are like the lowest of the low, but then turns out there is no A, and there is no 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 sides of Blue Lock. There are only five sides of Blue Lock, which is funny. Anyways, the reader grants him a halo effect. Since he is a genius of tactics, he also be right about human selfishness, which is like a fallacy. They call it the beauty fallacy. I don't know. So beautiful people, like people in general, tend to trust beautiful women and men more than they do with ugly people, despite it having nothing to do with intentions. And that's because we as humans learn to associate things back when we were survivors. You see a lion, he looks scary, he will fuck you up. So, and then like you see a deer, it looks beautiful, it just runs from you. So we learn to associate things that don't have anything to have with each other. For example, cats look very cute, but they are one of the biggest killers in the on the planet. And this is happening now. You see a beautiful girl, you assume she's a nice person, but but most people discover just because she's beautiful, it does not mean she has a halo. You need to look for her character, man. Which, by the way, that would get me an ass kicking from Todo from Jujutsu Kaisen for saying you need to look for character. Anyways, now hold on, let me answer this one. Do you think that Ego will use Rin as a joker for the rest of the world? Well, no, I don't think. Listen, I have a feeling that Ego would double down and he would go so poorly in the England game that in the halftime, Buratsuta might have to intervene, play his I am the ruler card, and tell him to use me, for example, Karatsu, Baro, Shido, whatever the case. Yeah, okay. You can catch up, bro. You can catch up, Manuko. Anyways, so as I said, finally, the cathartic dimension, Ego's discourse on selfishness resonates with a form of a real social frustration. By justifying the egoism at the expense of the group, he offers the reader a mental liberation. It is no longer a fallible theory, but a promise of empowerment, which is, by the way, really true. Because you feel like this is something good, by the way. I cannot judge Ego for it, because you feel like you could change a lot by changing yourself. And once again, we gotta talk about Isagi and Baro, because of course we fucking have to. It's either Isagi and Rin or Isagi and Baro. These are the most interesting characters. So I think it's 66. So yeah, Baro does not pass. Oh, no. Bro, what the fuck? 60 maybe? Yeah, so he goes. So Baro ignores him. He loses again. He talks to Nagi, whatever. By the way, Baro looks so cold here. It's insane. Yeah, that's exactly... that's genius. That's genius from Kanshiro. To have Kira, yeah, I just saw the total thing. To have Kira actually be the representative of the chapter where Ego's theory got challenged is just insane world building. He had this thing from chapter 1. That's insane. That's literally insanity. Kanshiro is just oh, bro. Anyways, so let's carry on with this bullshit here. Yeah. So when Isagi falls, he realizes he can no longer talk to Baro. Whatever he does, he can no longer talk to Baro, so he decides to devour him. And I'll talk about why I'm bringing this. So I was wrong. This is the important part. This is probably one of my favorite chapters in the show because of how much it changes your perspective on how to deal with people, especially difficult people. I was wrong. I thought that if I tailored my plays to Baro, that he would respond in kind. But what was just waiting for him, but that was just waiting for him to change. It's just trying to control someone else's. It's just like trying to control someone else. That's not adaptability. I'm not playing soccer so I can match someone else. I am here to win. So, in order to win, I'll change how I use my strengths. Don't wait for Baro. I'm not trying to draw out and leverage his abilities. I'll just devour his playing style. So if you are someone who is having difficulty in life, this chapter changes you entirely, because let's be real, most difficulties come from people or money. So forget about money for a second. For people, just by changing how you look at people, there are people that you can't knock on their hearts. So what you need to do is you need to change. Bro, if she's not replying, you need to stop texting. That's what Isagi is saying here. And by the way, he says something I love at the end. Give me a second. We'll squeeze it out. Hold on, give me a second. I need to find it. Yeah, no, it's not here. It's actually in like in the next chapter. So when he uses him, he says this. Notice this, guys. This is very important, and you need to pay attention to it because it's really life-changing. You can never change other people. Okay, hold on. Hold on, bro. What the hell? Yeah. I just no. You can never change other people. That's why my only choice is to change myself. There is no other way for me to change. I think this is a mistranslation. I think there is no other way for me to move forward. A world that does not go my way. There is no way for me to change. A world that does not go my own. That doesn't go my way. If there is no light to guide me to the goal, I just have to become that light myself. This is very important. You cannot change the world. You can change how you react to it and how you can literally devour it, as Isagi says. I know it's sometimes corny to use the lingo, but bro, this is insane. Like, this is insane character building for us. Hold on. Yeah, fellow brave user. Come on. What's up, man? What's up, Gojo? Gojo Saoru. Gojo Saoru. Anyways, so then this guy finishes his rant. By the way, look what's awesome. I knew Blue Lock was manipulating me when I realized Barrow, the biggest asshole in Blue Lock, is my favorite character. His awakening in the second selection and how he faced defeat made me like him so much and ignore all the psycho shit he does, which is correct. Like, I got manipulated by Kanshiro. Anyways, Io Jinpachi does not become nice, he simply managed to make his radicalism comfortable. He's no longer judged on his morality, but on his ability to transform Rough Diamond into real stars, making us complicit in his system. Now, this guy is a genius because he says it here, because as he says it here, if it is only about like turning the Rough Diamonds into real stars, then by definition, Ren failing here is the first crack. Ren here. Oh yeah, sure. Gojo Satoru. Yeah, sure. Gojo Satoru. So by having Ren failing here, it's the first time his ideology gets challenged. And notice the crazy part. You want to know why he's crazy? It's not just the Kira shit. It's Ren. Ever since the inception of Blue Lock, who was the number one? Who was? It was one motherfucker and it was one guy. It was Ren motherfucking Itoshi. That was the only guy we ever cared about as number one, until Isagi took it from him at the end of the PXG game. But here we have both of them looking like idiots as they hit the bar. And Isagi explains it perfectly. Ren was correct. He should have done like that. Obviously, the timing was completely thrown off. But like, that's literally insane that the writer pulled it off. You don't question ego by having like someone, I don't know, like Otoya failed. Or someone like who doesn't matter, follows ego and then fail. You have the number ones fail. And so I'll give you something crazy. And you'll like, I myself just got blown away when I realized. If we go to chapter 2, I think it's 299. I don't know. I think it's 299. So 299, we reach everything, yada yada. Oh wait, no, I think it's the one before it. When do we get Ren and Isagi? Yeah, I think it's 295. Okay. So, if you remember, I'll be the first to admit. What's up, bro? What's up? Oh, yo, Pookie. What's up, Tuki? Yo, man, we gotta hop in on one of the lives, man. Maybe we'll do a call, like, in one of the upcoming lives, and we gotta, like, discuss some things, bro. That's the thing. Yeah, it's not just. I don't think it's about Rin's collapse. I'll explain why. It's like, sure, Rin's collapse is something, but that's not the point. Here's what I'm making. So by having Rin, this is the old one. So by having Rin and Isagi be number ones together, it was foreshadowing for this. Yeah, listen. Listen, I'll be the first to admit I might be sucking Kanshiro's dick a little bit too much here, but the guy had Kira on the or like on the on the volume cover of the volume where Ego's ideology failed. Kira, the guy who challenged the first guy to challenge Ego ever. Like, that's insane. Was that hair down? Bro, oh yeah, hair down, bro. Yeah. In the next chapter, we'll see him. We'll see him, bro. Don't worry. Yeah, this is actually, by the way, funny. They kind of do. Yeah, they if you look at their hair and like they actually kind of do have like a breaked heart. Holy shit, bro! This motherfucker is cooking. This motherfucker is cooking. What's up, Yasin? Yeah, you gotta glaze the guy, bro. Because listen, I'll be the first to admit, chapter 346 had me boiling. But this chapter proved like we need to trust Kanshiro. This will be the last time I'm doubting this motherfucker. Because look at this shit. There was no reason for Rin to be number one as Isagi, but the writer had an idea in mind, which is, if I have Rin fail as number two, it would not be as impactful as having both the number ones. Like, this is top Blue Lock. It's Rin and Isagi. Let's face it. The number ones of Blue Lock are Rin and Isagi. Sure, Karasu challenged it and might become the new number one, but for now it was Rin and Isagi. So by having them fail like this, and by having them get wiped by by Loki, it proves that Ego's idea didn't just get like fail or like maybe he miscalculated. No. He got it completely wrong. Because they were pushing, they ended up not tying and get punished by Loki. This is the point. So now, by the way, people are saying that, me included, that Loki could have scored still if like 1 minute left, but like that doesn't matter for the story. Yeah, bro, listen, bro. I got blown away reading this shit. And then, as I said, what's his name? Hold on, give me a second. When Vahaska said about Kira being the cover of the volume where Ego falls, is just not a coincidence. That really got me. Listen, I think if you hate on this chapter, you just kind of did not understand where the writer is going with the story. It's not about glazing Isagi per se, but I think the writer is telling a story not in this game. This is the issue. I think he's telling a story in the entirety of the arc. This is Ego failing, and this is the first time we explore this. If you remember back in the NEL, sure, Isagi would fail, sure, Rin would fail, but it's never Ego. Ego was never touched. This is the first time he gets touched. And by the way, this makes Hugo one hell of a motherfucker. Because not only did he present a philosophy that is leading a team that is stronger than Ego, it is proven to be more valuable. So yeah, bro, this shit is insane. No, I don't even think it's the ring glazers. I think just people did not understand the vision behind having the top two fail, because it means a lot for Blue Lock moving forward. Now, to answer the old age question, did Rin fuck up or did Ego fuck up? To be honest, I don't think it's either. Ego has always been this radical, and it just showed this time. This is the first time it showed, and it proved Hugo right. And so by his own metrics, Isagi is turning on him. Because Isagi is only enchanted by what? He's enchanted by results. And this is why manipulation is always bad, because the thing you manipulate people by could actually turn on you. And the prime example here is that Isagi, who always believed Ego is like the one above all, right? Like he's the best human, now question him because for the first time it's failing. If this was a healthy relationship, if ego is not manipulating blue lockers, guess what? Isagi would say, oh, it's okay, like it's just one failure among millions of successes, right? But that's not the case. Bro, immediately then Ego-san's theory, hold on, and Blue Lock itself failed. Hold on a second, that's really insane. And by the way, I don't think one play is enough to tell if a theory failed. But hey, here's the crazy part. It doesn't matter with ego. He cares only about results, and the results are what? 4-2, meaning by his own theory, he failed. Hold on. I think they are trying to say that there isn't a philosophy that doesn't have flaws. Anything can work. Yeah, that could be, by the way, the case. Isagi obviously won through luck, which means it is obviously flawed. Hugo lost once, even though he got nerfed, and Ego lost here. So maybe that's true. Maybe they are saying that the perfect philosophy is a mixture between them all. Which could be insane, by the way, because the only one who seems to notice this is Isagi. Karasu right now has mixed only one. Karasu right now is just following Hugo. However, Isagi might come up with like a theory that engulfs everything, which could be an omni theory if you think about it. Because philosophy only works with super talented people like her. That's not true. The point I made, by the way, I don't know. Oh yeah, I did not make it on stream. I'll tell you something. There was a reason why Isagi's shot here got blocked and got blocked by Renoir specifically. Because the writer could have had Charles actually stop the shot like he did, for example, with Kaiser. But instead, look at this. But instead, we had the goalkeeper. And this is a first. We've never seen a goalkeeper stop an actual good shot from like any other, from like a main character. The reason it happened is to push the idea that with Hugo, look at this shit. See, with Hugo, everyone, even like a goalkeeper that did nothing in the previous game, in the PXG game, could actually reach something crazy, right? That's the point. It actually matters that to distinguish the fact that Hugo's theory works on everyone. If you live by going with your best options, if I am good at running, let me run. Like, do you understand? It's a good theory in general. I think it was limited by him not accounting for rebels who devour other people. But like in terms of the theory, Hugo really got a really good theory. And hold on, let me show you something. Yeah, look at this. He brought 100% of everyone. Now you could say Kamos, Leiden, Charles, Loki, are all great. But like we've seen Gaben, we've seen Choppa. These are not really great in PXG, but now they're doing great. Why? Because Hugo brings 100% performance from them with his theory. Snuffy is from Malta? Where did you get that? Where does it say that Snuffy is from Malta? Which, by the way, Malta should be like an Italian island. A goalkeeper of the strongest team is... Bro, that's not the point of a goalkeeper of being of the strongest team. This is the same goalkeeper of PXG. Like, we're not saying... Do you understand? This is the same goalkeeper of PXG. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah. So this is the same goalkeeper of PXG, and he could not stop nothing in that game, but now he actually can. But then let's check the poll. So yeah, you guys want the Itoshi brothers. Let's see. I just want to see Sai again. That's good. Kiora versus Loki. That would have been a good short in like April's Fools. That's actually, I'm gonna pin this shit. Like, for those who watch the stream, they will understand. Everyone else, nah. Yeah, bro, like, I understand the chemistry between Kaiser and Isagi, but come on. Like the writer had the full-on chapter and like explaining the chemistry between the Loki and Hugo. Hugo literally was not understood, and this is rare for talented learners. Talented learners usually are easy to understand, but like not Hugo. And then he meets one jerk who thinks of himself as the epitome of all beings, and he immediately gets enchanted. That's like insane level of chemistry. Okay, for example, there is no reason to blindly follow an established philosophy since it was derived by the place and time the author was in. Should always be interrupted. That's true. I mean, listen, this is not just for anime. You could talk about any fiction or any ideology thing. It's always seen from lenses. This is why some people may never understand you, because the way they've experienced the world is so drastically different from the way you experienced it that you can never possibly understand each other. Maybe if you put in each other's shoes, you would, but like just from like an abstract, you could never. This is why I hate sometimes political debates, because you see people on the left and right who never lived in each other's shoes, like debate some things, and they never reach results. Which is funny. I'm kind of quoting Neil deGrasse Tyson here. Anyways, this is another subject. Okay, so hold on. Before I answer some questions, guys, do you understand what I'm talking about? Ego and how he is a maniac who manipulated everyone, as Crow Jr. said here. But because he manipulated everyone, the moment his theory got challenged just a bit, Isagi immediately turned on him. The moment Karasu seen something more comfortable, he immediately turned on him. Do you understand? Like, the only two who are still following Ego's philosophy to a T, I would say, are Baro and Rin. And with Rin fucking up like this, I doubt he would stay the same. He might do the same as Isagi, which, by the way, this is looking as a heart. It's actually funny. Right? Hold on. And even the character design to block Ace, Rin, and Isagi both have black hair and similar design. Meanwhile, since... Oh my god, bro. Like, you're on fire today with the theories. Vahashka, bro. What the fuck? Bro, this would be insanity level of writing, you know? Like, I know in the anime Isagi has blue hair and Rin has teal hair. But like right now they look like as if dark. And guess who's coming for Blue Lock's blood? I think it's 312. Guess who's coming for Blue Lock's blood? It's the only white-haired Death Aura guy. And guess who's with him? Kira, who also has white hair. So you mean to tell me this motherfucker Kanshiro had all of this shit in his mind since day one? Since he introduced Nagi? Since he introduced Kira? Since he introduced Isagi and Rin? Bro, what the fuck? I just can't. Like, seriously, you just blew my mind. Like, I know. Holy shit. Listen, I think the England game might be the breaking point. Hear me out. I know we might get Nagi next game, because the only one who got confirmed that he will show up against Spain is Sai. We don't care about Sai. Sai is an outsider for our discussion today. But I can't, bro. Like, it's, by the way, Tsuki, it's funny because two videos ago I was like ripping the guy's ass with like my rant, and now I'm loving his shit. Yeah, it's elite great. Listen, bro, if you have a guy who's been foreshadowing shit for like almost 350 chapters, from chapter 1 to chapter 347, you cannot not glaze. I simply cannot. I need to glaze the guy. Bro, that's what we're saying. I know I said Isagi and Ren have like blue and teal hair, but like the point is that in the manga it is white. It is like Ren and Isagi, who are Ego. Oh shit, by the way, I just noticed Ego also has black hair, so like they are his children, not canonically. But also, the ones who are opposing him now both have white hair, or clear hair, I should say. Yeah, that's the crazy part. If you look at it, he's been foreshadowing this since 2018. That's 8 years in the making. This shit puts Sukuna versus Gojo's fight like it makes it like very small. That sure that was hinted at in chapter 2 or 3, but like come on, this shit right here is just insanity, man. Yasin, you're telling me to pause? Nah. I think that Kanshiro did a terrible job at portraying Ego's philosophy's failure on the last play, especially because Rin didn't even do that out of a goal hunting, and his disturbance are not what Ego. So that's where the manipulation comes in. If you give your children a healthy upbringing, they would be able to tell the difference. But Rin knew nothing like that. He hates his brother and thinks his brother hates him. He thought he always was alone, but then Blue Lock kept up with him and Isagi even surpassed him. Then, when he thought that he could play with Isagi on the same tier, he drops him for Karasu. So what do you expect? You expect Rin to think clearly? You expect Rin to think, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this? No. The only thing remaining in Rin is the radical manipulation of Ego of just hunting a goal no matter what. So he jumps in. He jumps in at the wrong moment, he destroys the whole play, Loki punishes them and they lose. Most characters have black hair though, Ace. It's black and white manga and the... Yeah, but like choosing two players who have black to be the, like, on your philosophy with the same, like, coach and then white. And by the way, Blue Lock has characters who have like two-tone hairs. For example, Otoya, for example, Shido, Karasu. But like Rin and Isagi, you can see him here. When they failed, it's pure black. Like it's just black. And then Nagi and Kira, they're just white. Bro, that's true. Noah too has white hair. Holy fuck. Noah has white hair, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Like listen, one thing I gotta give Gege is like the way he wrote Gojo and Sukuna. He knew it's the ultimate fight of the show. He built around it, and he delivered. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm talking in terms of building, but like this shit is more impressive. To have like the fucking hair matter this much, bro. Come on. By the way, what's up, Tsuki? And Nagi's aura is death, and Kira comes name is. Oh, by the way, that's Kira. Kira's name is death. By the way, if that's actually insane. Oh my god, bro! Did we just discover the holy grail of foreshadowing? Bro, I did. By the way, my hair is also blazing white. Like it is. Like I used to have dark hair, and now like I have a lot of white hairs. Like, so I'm. Listen, we're in the mixture, bro. We agree with Nagi a little bit. We agree with Ego a little bit. So hold on. Listen, guys. We need to make this into a video. We need to make this into a video of how Kanshiro foreshadowed all of this shit from chapter 1. Holy shit. Listen, I need to write a long ass script about this. I'll talk about Ego's like radicalization. I'll talk about the foreshadowing from the first chapter, the return of Nagi as death. And by the way, if you remember in the Nagi spin-off novel, hold on, give me a second. Nagi episode. What the fuck is this? Yeah, episode Nagi, not Nagi episode. Okay. Exit. So if you remember in the first chapter of the Nagi spin-off novel, listen, Nagi, I think Nagi would be scarier than both Rin and Isagi when he comes back. The thing with Nagi, you have to understand, the only thing limiting him throughout Blue Lock was always his motivation. When he was motivated, like, listen, before I show you the first chapter, when he was motivated, guess what bro did to the World 5? These are like, oh, hold on, no. It's the previous chapter. Bro, what the fuck? Guess what Nagi did to the World 5? And he, like, I understand, like, he shocked them, but it was fucking 1 against 3. And he still fucked them up. So Nagi has no ceiling. It was shown, much like Loki, Nagi has no ceiling. The only difference, Nagi is not motivated as Loki. Loki has a clear dream and he wants to achieve it. But Nagi is a little bit floppy. So he was against three players that you can't do shit against, and yet he won. Sure, he took them by surprise, but still, man. Anyways, let me read this comment. Hold on. Ace a boomer too. Yeah, I'm turning from a millennial to a boomer. Am I allowed to murk my grandma? Cause what the fuck? Oh my god. Sweat scaling. By the way, sweat scaling is a real thing, which is funny. Iron Assassin did a video on that, which was one of the funniest videos, but it really was insane. Because if you don't sweat, you're not taking shit seriously. Anyways, hold on, let me read. Yeah, but then it becomes Rin failure, not ego failure. Rin has no. Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is, if Ego had a healthy relationship with the Blue Lockers, Rin wouldn't resort into this. And healthy, by the way, does not mean he cares. It's just like not this radical, right? Ace-Lock, you should analyze chaos of Blue Lock. What? And a chapter of Blue Lock showing and foreshadowing. Yeah, I actually want to do that. So I think I'll do a video about this. Yeah, goodbye, the High Cat. Thank you so much for the donation. You really made my day today. Thank you, bro. Thank you, and good night, bro. The High Cat. By the way, is that Kaiser like drinking cola? I love it. Goodbye, bro. Yeah, I understood it's chapter 1 of Blue Lock showing. Yeah, listen. We need to do. Okay, so just from this stream, I actually got 2 video ideas that I think will change the Blue Lock community, which is why I will keep doing these streams. They are amazing. No, it's not about you. The idea I spoke of here is that because he manipulated Isagi into thinking that only results matter, the moment results were against Ego, bro, immediately, even then, Ego's theory and Blue Lock itself failed immediately. Bye. Take care, bro. Peace out. Yeah, listen. I'll do, since you love Kaiser, I'll do a Kaiser video. But I wonder what we should do about Kaiser. I guess I'll figure something. Maybe Kaiser. Well, maybe Kaiser and Isagi against the Itoshi brothers. That may be good. Although I'll check. Okay, I'll check Discord. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me read a little bit here. Then I'll check Discord. So still Ego's jaw. He should be able to control himself. Did you notice that Buratsuta, who has white hair, created side B, and then Nagi and Kira will qualify from it? Yeah. So I think Buratsuta is just like because he's all. The interesting one is actually Ray Dark. Ray Dark having white hair means a lot because he might be facing Ego. So I still think Ego would be right at the end. Don't worry. But I think he will change. I think he would get such a beating, not an actual physical beating, but such a football beating that he would change. Yeah, bro. I'll check my Discord. Don't worry. Danik, okay. If Nagi was motivated, could he make Ren what? Yeah, listen. As I was just explaining here, if Nagi is motivated, he could take on the world. This is Nagi. Nagi motivated equals he could fuck up even Noah. This is his whole thing. He has unlimited potential with just very limited wanting to live or something like that. Hold on, I'll show you something at the end before I'll go to Discord. So. Nagi, yada yada. Okay, I think it's chapter 2. Yeah, so when they run, so as you notice, Nagi does not want to come. And Ryo obviously meets Raiden Nagi. Yeah, sure. Send them over on Discord. And I'll use them. I used sketches before. Send them, and I'll use them. It's just you 2 left. Okay, whatever. I'll go. Come on, Nagi. So obviously Ryo wants to go, but Nagi doesn't. Nah, I'm good. Now they have this is like, you think my speech was boring too? Yeah, I mean, it was way too easy for me to imagine myself scoring the winning goal at the World Cup. You know what this means? He already, he or he already like was at ego's ultimate imagination without having the brainwashing of ego. So this in itself is also a foreshadowing of why Nagi was always against ego. And it could explain, oh shit, hold on. It could explain why ego was so mad when Nagi failed, because he had the talent for it. But like he watched him rot because he did not follow his philosophy. Hold on. Bro, the ads on Weeb Central are like getting wild, man. Like, bro was livid here. So like it could be like, I love you too, cooler. Listen, bro, bro, you want to ship him? Listen, I'd ship Yokocha with Anri. There's definitely something more to Ego's theory, probably. Listen. Of course. There's more to Ego's theory. There is more to Nagi coming back. There is more to Hyuko's theory. Like we're just. I feel like we're just discovering the tip of the iceberg, which means I could make this video into. You know what? We could do like the iceberg type videos for Blue Lock foreshadowing, but I don't know if it would work like that. Hold on, let me check the DM on Discord and be back. Okay, so Danica. Oh, that's true. Yeah, so hold on. Oh, that's actually true. By the way, you could look at this. So this is what he showed me. You could look at this shit. Like even the uniforms, white against black. Now obviously Isagi is a little bit blue and Rin is a little bit teal, but you could see that the foreshadowing is always there. Like this is insane. Thank you, bro. By the way, Ace, fun fact, had Blue Lock started 3 years earlier, it would have featured people like Sai Aiko and stage they'd have competed against Pablo Cavazos. So Cavazos, sure, but like I doubt Sai would have joined because Sai went to Real at least 4 years ago. We know it's at least 4 years ago, so I think he would have been at Real. So he wouldn't have joined. So don't resonate with Nagi at all and rejoice when he was locked off. That's the point, by the way. You know why? It's the same shit here as introducing players who go against Ego's theory and then they fail. It makes more sense that, hold on, Ego is right every time. Ego is right. And because we are conditioned to only take in results, well, guess what? You know what's funny? The community is conditioned to only take in results. That Loki, not taking this game seriously, caused the soul to call him a bum, caused the soul to call him a fraud. If Baro does not score immediately as he enters, we call him like a dead character. That's how much we've been brainwashed by Kanshiro, by the way. Yeah, that's what I showed. Look, Nagi and Isagi are reversed. Kira and Rin are reversed too. Like even look at this. Even the way they are reversed is exactly the same. So Rin is all black, Kira is all white. Isagi is a little bit of black, Nagi is a little bit of black. So Kira is against Ego completely, Nagi a little bit. Rin and Baro, I would say, are the embodiment of ego, but Isagi has a little bit of his own too, so he has a little bit of gray. So the foreshadowing is just insane. And thank you, by the way, Danica, for this, because it's honestly just peak writing right here. Like, I know I'm glazing Kanshiro too much, but hey, I love that shit, man. I love some, like, Oda level foreshadowing. By the way, Tsuki actually gave me an idea. How about, like, why white hair versus black hair players isn't close? That would actually be a fun play on, like, the hair thing. Okay, once for... Now it's Rin and Kira uniforms, then Isagi and Nagi's uniform. Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, that's what I said. Kira compares with Rin and Nagi compares with Isagi. Welcome, Arts, welcome. Yeah, thank you, man, for the subscription. Yeah, thank you, man. No, I don't have TikTok, actually. I mean, I do, but I never use it. Like, the thing is, I don't do shorts that much, so I don't know if I would post on TikTok. Alas, we'll have to wait a few matches to see this real. Actually, not few matches. I think everything will fall like nose first in the England game, which I think the England game, the analysis, like the formation, what would happen, I think it needs a different stream. Like this one, let's just keep it for Ego, Rin, and Isagi. But this is insane. This is why I love the live streams. Like I get to learn shit I did not even realize, man. And it's great. Yeah, of course, due to Kiora. I think, listen, bro. Kiora alone would carry. I actually don't know. Like, so Baro being red and being like, so Baro embodies an idea, which, if you know The Wise, he is a YouTuber who used to make videos a long ago. I think he stopped now. Yeah, for the prediction, I think we needed to leave it for another stream. So, regarding Baro, Baro's whole idea is the deposed king, which is actually very common in literature. Like a character that finds joy in dethroning other people. So, like at first we think of Baro as the king, but no, he's like the conqueror. He's like the usurper. If you've watched Game of Thrones, that was a perfect Robert Baratheon depiction of this character. Robert Baratheon knew how to take the crown, but he did not know how to be a king. And I feel like that's exactly what was the case with Baro. If you remember, Baro did not know what the bro. These ads are getting wild. Hold on, I think it's in the Nagi spin-off novel. Yeah, hold on. So if we go to maybe chapter 9 or 10. So yeah, I think it's before. So hold on. Look at that shit. So Baro does not know how to rule, at least at the beginning of the story. But like once he got beaten by Isagi, he knows how to dethrone. He's always the guy to take the lead. So that's his character at first. Now the Uber's game kind of mixed things up because he was a great king, but at the expense of deposing the old king, which is Snuffy. It's like he is kind of like Robert Baratheon. He knows how to take the throne. He doesn't know how to keep it. Well, not to keep it. He doesn't know how to, he doesn't know how to rule while being the king. Yeah, of course I watched Game of Thrones. It's like I don't like TV series a lot. I always preferred anime, but like I watched Suits, I watched Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, obviously. What else? Hold on. I think, yeah, 13 Reasons Why, which was famous back in the day. Like a few here and there. Like Suits, I enjoyed, by the way, too. Suits, I enjoyed a lot. Game of Thrones, the first few seasons of Game of Thrones, like one of the best fictions you could watch. Like one of the best fiction you could watch, especially like with what's it called, the Lannister, the Tywin Lannister, like the father of Jimmy and Cersei Lannister. Bro, that guy was insane. The bounce around the screen. What the fuck? Wait, we have ads that bounce around the screen. I think Nagi would represent traditional Japanese teamwork. So the top new gen, like it should be Loki, shared either by Hugo or Hugo is right behind him. That's my top one. So that it's Loki, then Hugo, or Loki and Hugo at the same level. Then we have Bunny, Sai, Kaiser, then Lorenzo. Unfortunately, Lorenzo, as much as I like him, he does not have feats to contend with anything that's happening right now. Who was Delusion back then? Yeah, bro, that shit always gets me. Like, Jessica is 5 miles away. We don't even name women Jessica in this country, so how the fuck does that even make sense? Ego is just like a Walter White. But you could say Ego is like a good version of Walter White. Walter White at the end, sure, he was a murderer and a criminal, but above all, he was a manipulator. He was a master manipulator. And this is why I feel like Hank punching him after he started telling him that my cancer came back was just like the perfect response. You manipulative piece of shit. Ma- Manga Katana. I never heard of that site. Now I use Brave, which typically blocks the ads, but like sometimes between like what's it called? Between like updates, this happens. Then they will fix it. So what's up, guys? You Ace, do you think Japan losing is ego's fault? Yeah, bro. Welcome, Ars, but like the whole stream was about ego and Ren. I highly suggest you watch this as a VOD later because we spoke about exactly how ego, well, not technically it is his fault, but like why Isagi specifically would see it as his fault. Why Karasu dumped him, like things like that. Yeah, it's kind of Kira Nagi versus Rin Isagi. White versus black. Traditional Japanese teamwork. Football versus blue lock. Ego driven football. Red versus blue. You know what? Welcome back, Gojo. Yeah, goodbye, Illusion. Take care, bro. So, for what's it called? Oh, for I'm even me. I'm sleepy. What were we talking about? I forgot. So, yeah, for white hair versus black hair, I think I might do it as in video like this one. A video like this one, chaos versus order. I'll do it like as in a new theory and talk about white hair versus black hair, how it relates to ego, ego against Noah, like Nagi, Kira, the whole thing. But like I feel like this needs to happen after I do a deep analysis on ego's character, how like it might signals the downfall of like blue lock, things like that. Bunny has some. By the way, just throwing this out. Bunny has white hair. Just throwing it out. Do you think Sai will play with Japan after the Spain match? Listen, I think. Listen, here's the theory. Here's a theory of mine. I think he will not play until Spain, and then when he plays like for Spain, Bunny will fuck him up, and either his brother Ren or Isagi or Shido will save him, and that would finally melt like Sai's heart and make him respect the. Although he respects the Blue Lockers, but make him believe in them and then join them for good. They face Colombia or whatever team, then Germany, then France. Yeah, bro, it's late stuff. Me here too. Like I finished like at 3 p.m. I had a little nap, then worked a little bit on a video, then like started the live. So I've been working like for the whole day. And tomorrow, like because we had a cow, tomorrow we need to like split the meat and shit like that. So for those who don't know, don't bother. I think the issue is ego is too extreme. Exactly, it's too extreme. He manipulated them. He made them believe that only results matter. And so, like, when results are against you, all of a sudden you're in the hot spot. So this is what's going to go against him. That's true, by the way. So for the, you know what's funny about ego and chaos? I noticed it with like little kids. There are kids that are by their nature chaotic, and there are kids who are like angel-like. And one of the worst things you could do to your kid, I feel like, is to try and change him from whatever the fuck he is. If your kid is like naturally calm, you just should like accept him as he is. And I'm talking like kids. I'm talking like from 1 year old and moving up, like to like 10-year-olds. And like there are a lot of kids who have a lot of energy, who are destructive, and their parents think they're just like little gremlins. But no, they're just chaotic by their nature. You should just respect that and like try to live with that. Like, and one of the stories I always like. So we had a neighbor, and like she was my mother's like best friend, and she had a kid who was my age. And much like me, he was too chaotic, but his mother never really allowed him to be chaotic. And so he dropped out from school. Like he started like going, he started becoming rebellious. While me, who I had the complete freedom to become chaotic, like my mother only directed me, I became creative and shit like that. So like, it's always a duality here, and I really love Blue Lock for bringing light to things like this. If you are like Kaiser and you are chaotic, if you are like Baro, you are chaotic, just be that. If you are like Karasu or like Hugo and you are orderly, also just be that. I feel like this is something I liked about Hugo changing Karasu and Isagi. They both realized what they are. Isagi here confirms all of that shit. Hold on. So Isagi here confirms all of that shit. So he's holding his heart, which is great, by the way. Great. So like, he's holding his heart, then he realizes, this is it. Whenever I've done something that surpassed my abilities, it was when there was a clear number one that I wanted to surpass. But after the Neo Egoist League, when I ended up as number one, I've been fighting to keep that title. Ha! Of course that's unsuitable. He realized he does not fit to be a leader. Like, he needs to be the one devouring the leader. That's why it never works with him. And by the way, this also signals the failure of ego, because ego is about building the number one striker. And Isagi right here said, I don't give a shit about being the number one striker. I'm going to be a rebel who devours the number one striker. So that's another point, by the way. I think ego needs to be the right man to lead Japan until when the real world comes. Like, I think he needs to adjust a little bit, things like that. By the way, caller, just talk naturally, bro. Whatever you have in mind, like, just say it. If it is Blue Lock related, of course. It's too extreme. Please don't delete the VOD. No, I don't. Listen, the only reason I deleted the VOD of the leaks because I was inviting people to Discord. But I'm not doing this here. But like, I'm not leaking anything here, so I'm not going to delete the VOD. Listen, bro, I want to listen to all of it because like I discovered a lot of some good shit with you guys. Over Boratsuta, yeah, over a competent coach. I don't know. Listen, I thought maybe, like, just hear me out, maybe Snuffy. But like, I don't know. I feel like Snuffy could also be like a great example. And I noticed Snuffy also has fucking white hair. So that's another opposition. If Japan is impressive enough, I think he would. I just realized another thing, their eyes are opposite colors. Blue, teal. Oh my god, that's true. That's true. Like, if you invert blue and teal, you get the shades of Nagi and fucking Kira. That's true. Okay, volume covers are interesting too. I guess the players with the restriction would have thicker locks like Nagi. I don't think Nagi is restriction though. I think Nagi is definitely freedom. But like, I could be wrong. Like, you never know with Blue Lock in these things. And Kira's box chain made of gold. I wonder what about that. Yeah, I wonder about that. This feels like excessive glaze, not gonna lie. Listen, bro. We're here to glaze. We're here to love Kanshiro. That's all. What's your thoughts on Kaiser reaction to Japan's loss? I wonder what he would say. Like him and Sai specifically. Sai, especially Sai with his brother. I wonder what they would say. Hope Shido and Baro can get rivalries. Yeah, that would be. Listen, that would be the chance in England. If England has an Eurogen 11 and like Baro and Shido are the main strikers, I can see, for example, Shido against that guy or Nagi against that guy. Yeah, I think so. Snuffy is blonde. Hold on. We don't have an official. We do actually. Give me a second. I'll show you guys. Give me a second. We do. I wonder, it's 182, I think. 172. Okay. So we do have this shit here. So yeah, it's not really white, but you get the idea. You could look like, yeah, I think him and what's it called, Prince could fit as in Sai and Hugo. They have shades, but like, look at Ego and Noah, complete opposites. And even the eyes, by the way, yellow eyes of Noah, I like the blue eyes. This is insanity, by the way. By the way, look at what Levy's hair looks like. It's completely random. Now we have this one here. Here's Snuffy. Also, by the way, Loki has black hair, so I don't know if that has any significance here. Imagine Sai slept and did not watch the game or is watching Bunny game instead. But listen, I could see him watching Bunny's game instead. Like that's something Sai would do. But again, he's too rich. He might have two TVs. By the way, I wonder why Sai staying at a hotel and not really with his parents. It's something like just came out to me. Anyways, apparently everyone has to thirst for goals, even defense players. That's, by the way, a complete flaw, which Karasu exposes. Karasu exposes it in a perfect way. What about fucking Gagamaru? Do you still expect him to score? I think he does it in 3:36. Yeah, this one. Oh no, I think it's the one before it. The one after it. You miss it. Is it the one after it or? Yeah, it's the one after it. Okay. Hey Isagi, come here. Bro, by the way, he still telling him come here. Like, he's such sadistic motherfucker. Let's keep on using this method now. Whatever. But then, yeah, hey, here it is. Yeah, I have. I just did the same thing. If you want to talk about life as a striker, then what about Gagamaru playing as a goalie? Or all the other guys playing defense? They aren't strikers. Which is completely true, by the way. This always has been like a flaw in Ego's theory, but we just accepted it because it showed results, right? Against the U20 team, the only reason they survived that team is because they had shit strikers. When Shido joined, like, bro almost scored 4 goals. Had it not been for Rio's like malleability, Shido would have fucked him up. Oh, Rio and Gagamaru. Like they barely escaped Chido and like a competent striker, which is, by the way, a brilliant way to write an arc. You have Shido join in only in the second half and completely dominate because Blue Lock does not have real defenders. The case with Nigeria is different. Now they have real defenders, Nico and Aiko, who trained, Ario, of course. So you get the point here. Okay, Nagi is weird because he does acrobatic and free moves, but I can't account for it. Yeah, exactly. Nagi is kind of weird, and like no matter how I think about him, it's just extremely weird. So it has gold chain too. Sai, Loki, Hugo, Kira, they all have gold chain. I don't know why. Sai profile. Okay. Like if you still say Kira won't come back, it's gonna be Shido. You just what? Who's Shindo? Who's Shindo user? That's code. Technically, goalkeeper can score a goal. Yeah, on himself. Yeah, listen, Gagamaru can score like a goal at the last minute from a corner kick. I could see it. Blue Lock rivals PTSD. Okay, oh yeah, there was this one goalie who literally scored a goal in World Cup and created a whole rule. Yeah, listen, you could, but like, I doubt Kanshiro would care about that. And since his chains are shattering, does that mean that his ego shifting towards feeling ego for his talent? I don't know. Shindu Heru. I don't know. Listen, it needs to be Kira. I don't care. Like after this, it needs to be Kira and Nagi. Yeah, Shido equals Sendo and Shido. Maybe different color chain represents some ego thing. I don't know. I really do not know. That could be the case, yeah. If a golden chain means that you are on the correct way, that could be the case, yeah. Real life soccer goalies also score goals sometimes. Yeah, they also score more than you would think. They score like penalties. They score like goals from one side to a side. Yeah, I can't play Blue Lock Rivals. What's it called? Roblox is banned in my country. It's like it was considered national security threat on the children, and then so they banned it. Yeah, the Belgian guy. Yeah, I know. I wonder what's the role of that Belgian guy, because At first, we all thought that it's gonna be Kira and Nagi, but then Kanshiro threw that guy in, and it's weird now. Yeah, Hugo is the original Golden Chain. Him and Loki. Well, okay, let's talk about that point and maybe like finish the stream because I'm super tired. Like I've been at it since morning. So Isagi already has amazing dribbling. This is one fallacy that I keep seeing regarding Isagi. It's one fallacy that I keep seeing regarding Isagi as if he doesn't have good dribbling. Isagi is a great dribbler. He's one of the best, but like not enough to beat the defenders of like the highest caliber. So he never wanted to develop something that he is not good at. So if you think about it, which by the way, if you think about it, Isagi, without knowing it, is following in Hugo's like philosophy of going for aptitude. Look at bro. Bro can scissor, can dribble, like he can do shit. And if you remember in the Manshine City game, when he was destroying them at the end, he also was dribbling. Hold on. So this one, yeah, look at this. Bro literally had Chigiri on all fours. Bro, if I was Chigiri, I'd pack my things and just leave. Look at it. So like, but the problem is he is not that good to beat like Nico, like to dribble past him or something like that. That's the only reason. So I don't think Isagi needs to work on it. He's great as is. I think he should just have like the Omni theory that would engulf everything and allow him to beat Hugo and Loki. Yeah, I don't know why he was introduced. Like it's really interesting. Nah, listen, I don't think I would play it. Like, especially now that I knew I could do live stream with you guys and have so much fun like this and learn a lot about Blue Lock and shit like that. I just want to talk about Blue Lock every night. If I could every night, maybe not on the nights where I have videos to post, but like we could do this. Like it takes 3 to 4 hours. That's not really a lot. We could do this. We could really do this like almost daily if you want. Unless of course I have like something. Yeah. Listen, guys. I think this has to do. It's like I'm almost falling asleep because I haven't like I've been up since 6 a.m. Like we went like to the slaughterhouse. Like I've done a lot of work because it's late here, and then I worked on a video, and now we're doing the stream. So I'm super tired, guys. So thank you for joining in, guys, and really good night. See you maybe tomorrow. By the way, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about England.